There's surely no better way to start a great adventure than by a float plane.
Is this fresh water or is it seawater?
This is fresh water.
I'm flying in a legendary de Havilland Beaver. It's the workhorse of the Pacific Northwest and perhaps the best way to take in the glorious mountains and forests of Washington State and its biggest city, Seattle.
Is that Seattle?
There's Seattle right down there, yes, sir.
Once a frontier town, Seattle boomed during the 1896 Klondike Gold Rush. It's still booming today and is the home to huge corporations like Microsoft and Amazon.
It's about this time that you'd say, you do know there isn't a runway down there.
Oh, there's a huge runway. It's 20 miles long.
Yeah, I know.
I'm coming into Seattle with a splash landing.
I must say, it was a great experience. It was lovely.
Planes have always been big business here, and they don't get much bigger than Boeing. For over 100 years, Seattle has been home to what is now the world's largest aerospace company. Swapping my wings for wheels, I want to find out, how did Boeing grow out of a frontier town? It all started here in 1916. This is the former shipyard building known as the Red Barn, and it was the first home of the Boeing Company. Oh, blimey. It's like a kit you buy and you put it together with glue, doesn't it? That's what it looks like. It's all wood. Amazing. The story goes that in 1915, William Boeing went for a joyride in an early aircraft and decided he could make one better. And the result is flying from the ceiling. That's the float plane, of course, yeah. I've just been on that. Well, not that one, but look at the floats on it. Look. They're all wood. Amazing, isn't it? Is that the beginning of Boeing?
It absolutely is. That's our very first airplane, the B&W.
Right.
Right. So named for the initials of Mr. Boeing and his partner who helped him start the company, Conrad Westervelt.
Right. But why a float plane?
There weren't any airfields in those days, but there was a lot of water, as you probably noticed.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why. Bill Boeing came to this area for timber, a timber baron.
Yeah.
All of his wealth is in timber.
Yeah.
And yet he introduces some of the very first metal airplanes in the United States. And this is the Model 40. This is an air-cooled engine. And with that engine on this airplane, they saved almost 500 pounds of weight.
Yes.
And that could then be used to carry mail.
How did it happen, the transition between mail and passengers?
You see that door right there, and inside is a seat. It was to carry employees from one field to the next.
Oh, was it?
And then they realized that, well, we're not carrying an employee or mail. Maybe we can get somebody to pay to go for a ride. Now, there were about 7 stops on the way between San Francisco and Chicago. So if they arrived at a field and there was a pile of mail that had to go on, the passengers would be left behind.
No.
Right. The mail had to go through. So a year after they started operation, they really started thinking seriously about carrying passengers. So the airplane that followed this was a passenger airplane. And they realized that this is the future.
I'm amazed that a timber merchant who made a small float plane would become the biggest aircraft maker on the planet. 50 years after it was founded, Boeing built the plane that changed the world.
It's Monday, September 30th, 1968, rollout day for the Boeing 747.
2.5 times bigger than anything that Boeing had built before. This is the actual prototype that was rolled out 50 years ago. God, blimey. That's stripped down to the bone. It's like the skeleton, isn't it? How on earth can a thing this size leave the ground? Who thought of it? Well, looks like him, and he's still scratching his head about how he's going to get it off the ground. Well, come on. I'm going to get up and see where the pilot sits. It's hard to believe that half a century ago, this 747 took its first flight into history. On board were 3 people, 2 pilots and an engineer. Co-pilot Brian Weigel, now 93 years old, has come back to the cockpit to relive that amazing moment. Ah, here he is, the very man. Brian, lovely to meet you.
Glad to meet you.
You fit better than I do.
Well,
Yeah,
for a big airplane, it doesn't have much room up front.
I understand that you were on the very first flight of this.
Yes,
this actual
This
747.
actual airplane. Yeah, I was here.
You were there.
Yeah.
Brian, did you have a lot of trepidation when you're sitting on the end of the runway with the engines going?
No.
Knowing you got 400 tons to get into the air?
I think we had butterflies when we were waiting. We were waiting for the weather. And finally we decided to go.
Designed and built in just 26 months, the largest civilian aircraft ever made hurtled down the runway. Now it lifts into the air. You must have felt a bit of relief for that.
Oh,
did
yes.
You think?
Oh, I think so. Oh, yes. The more we went along, the more relaxed we got because so far everything was working. This airplane was a delight. It was tailored just right. It felt great to fly. Of course, it was a big machine, but it responded beautifully.
It wasn't all perfect sailing, though, was it?
No, we had one incident, and one of the flap segments hung up. It got jammed a little.
Yeah.
So we decided that it was a good idea to go in and land.
After a 1-hour, 15-minute test flight, Brian and the crew safely brought the 747 back to Earth. If you think back, though, Brian, to that very, very first flight, what did it mean to you?
I think you feel proud that you're part of this team that's putting this marvelous machine together.
This is Brian and his chums leaving the aircraft. They've made history, but they're dressed like they've just left the office. The 747 opened the world to everyone.
There was a period when flying abroad meant 747s, and that was it.
Yes, yeah, it certainly did change the aviation world. We wouldn't have got halfway around the world without this little baby.
Yeah, that's what did it.
I have discovered the birth of Boeing, and now I want to experience the glamour of those early days of aviation. I have come to the historic Flight Foundation to try my hand at the controls of a flying legend. Ah, now this is interesting. 1927. This unique collection represents the golden age of aviation from 1927 to 1957. 30 years of innovation. Ah, look at that. What a lovely accolade for the Brits to have an actual Spitfire. What a stunning collection of old aircraft. I'm here to meet John Sessions, successful lawyer and aircraft enthusiast. Mr. Sessions, I do believe.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, John.
So nice to see you, sir.
Yeah, and you. I couldn't help noticing as I came round the corner that you've got crutches. Do you tell us why you need crutches?
David, I had an accident a little less than a month ago, and I will receive a prosthetic foot in a couple of weeks, and that's where I am.
Why? What happened? Were you flying at the time?
Yes, I had an accident on takeoff at the end of an air show.
So the aircraft. How did that come off?
Shall we say it's a restoration project in waiting?
It's no laughing matter. Just weeks ago, John was seriously injured when his de Havilland Rapide crashed on takeoff. But what's wonderful about this aircraft collection is they're all airworthy, giving people a chance to taste the thrill of early aviation.
I don't know what your first flight was, but I think most of us remember our first flight. It's spiritual, it's inspirational, it's unbinding the bonds of Earth.
Escape from planet Earth, as it were,
Yeah.
and be the master of the skies is something that I never, ever lose when I fly.
So we have an offer.
Is it an offer I can't refuse?
I would imagine so. We're about to take up our DC-3 for a bit of a photo shoot. We wonder if you'd like to come along, maybe get your hand on the controls and see how it feels.
Wonderful. The DC,
Yeah.
Do you know, that is a bit of an iconic aircraft because when I was a lad, just, I want to say when, but I had a DC-3 made out of aluminium, and it was my favorite thing. I would be absolutely delighted for a trip in your aircraft.
First flown in 1935, the Douglas DC-3 is credited with making air travel popular, affordable, and profitable. This beauty was the best plane of its generation. We are joined by Eugene Vezzetti, a veteran DC-3 pilot.
As we approach our DC-3, which was very instrumental in winning World War II and started as a passenger airplane and was quickly drafted into military service. And that's what this one was. This was actually a warbird.
So what would it have been, carrying troops?
They were built as paratroop drop airplanes. They were built as freighters. This one was specifically built to fly between India and interior China when the Japanese controlled the seaports.
This old girl was built in 1944 and has a remarkable history. This rare film footage shows it flying over the Himalayas, supplying our Chinese allies in World War II.
When this came back from the war, it was modified in California for Johnson & Johnson, and this was their corporate airplane.
54 luxury.
Yeah.
54. Yeah, well, that's all right. Hello? Oh, yes. Now, this is kitted out for me.
Come fly with me. Let's fly away.
In the 1930s, a DC-3 could take 15 hours to cross the United States with 3 stops to refuel.
You know, she's surprisingly quiet. I was expecting to be, in a way, sort of not be able to be heard.
It's conversational at cruise power. It's a little louder when we're taking off.
Yeah.
The DC-3 was an overnight success. Just 3 years after its introduction, it was carrying over 90% of all airline passengers in the United States.
Here she goes.
As we take off over the Boeing aircraft factory, it's worth reflecting that the Douglas DC-3 almost put Boeing out of business in the 1930s. Thousands were built and over 400 are still flying today, including this old beauty, which is 75 years old.
Keep going, dear, keep going. You may be a pensioner by now, but you're still flying.
I was just wondering if I could poke my nose into the cockpit when Doug Burton, the co-pilot, popped in to see me.
It's pretty good, huh? You ready to go flying?
Yeah, right.
Yours truly can fly a glider and a helicopter, so a DC-3 shouldn't be too hard to master.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
There he is. How are you doing, David?
Very good. I'm surprised how smooth she is for an old girl.
Well, and today is a pretty good day for it. The wind out over the water is not bad here. We get back down close to ground, it might not be as smooth.
Right. Yeah.
Now, one thing about the DC-3 is it's heavy on the controls.
Do you have to put some rudder in?
Well, if we do them nice and gentle like we're doing, we're okay.
You're okay.
Yeah. But take the yoke and try to make a little turn to the left here.
What a wonderful feeling this was. Huh, I never thought when I was a kid that I'd be doing this for real.
And as long as you're making nice, gentle turns like this, it's pretty easy. Then to roll it out.
But she is quite heavy, but as you said, she's quite responsive.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to put a bit in, haven't you? We're all right on course, are we?
Oh, yeah.
What a treat to fly the most glamorous plane in aviation history. It was lovely just pottering about in the sky. I could have stayed up there for hours.
David, you had enough?
No, I'm quite happy to fly around, man.
Okay.
But all good things come to an end, and I have to hand her back to Eugene.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's just nice to get the controls of an aircraft. Yeah, okay, she's big and a bit heavy and a bit sluggish, but you'd soon get used to that. You wouldn't notice it. Flying is flying, really.
It is, and you have to be a little more patient with this one.
Of all the tasks the DC-3 has performed, none was more crucial than the role it played delivering troops for the liberation of Europe on D-Day. For John Sessions, his connection with this aircraft is deeply personal. His father was one of them.
The DC-3 was the principal transport for the paratroopers, and my father was a member of the 101st Airborne. Charlie Company, 501st Paratroop Infantry Regiment, jumped behind Utah Beach on D-Day, survived. He was the jump master, so he was the last one out, and he was often at 500 feet before he left the airplane.
Bloody hell. I can't help but feel the emotion when you say things like that. If we didn't have those brave, committed people, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you. The world would be completely different.
This is Sergeant Guy Sessions. That's about 3 days after it jumped into France. In the fall of 1944, he was severely wounded, and my mother, a Canadian, was his final nurse.
Oh.
And that picture just goes to show that we were all beautiful once.
Yeah. No wonder he fell in love with her. I think we all would have done.
It's back down to earth for me. What a great experience. I can quite understand the passion that drives people to save these marvellous machines, keeping them flying for all of us to remember the role they played in our history.
Well, what a lovely experience, eh? There's something very romantic about a piston-engined aircraft. And it was great. Thank you, old girl. Got us back safe and sound.
It's time to leave Seattle. I'm on a journey down the west coast of America, discovering stories behind extraordinary machines. But first, I have to find my wheels.
Got no idea what sort of car it is, but all will be revealed, I'm sure. Oh, my good grief, Penfold. Look at that, eh? They don't come much smoother than that. I love that period of car. Yes. Yes, lead me to it, my son. I think I'll take this home. Oh, could you imagine, eh? Driving down Berwick Street in this. Yes. What we are in is a 1952 Packard. To see cars like this as very young lads, God, it made you think the Americans used to live in heaven and we were like on the other side. I did promise I'd look after it if I took it home, but they said no, drive it to where it lives.
My lovely Packard lives 30 miles south of Seattle in Tacoma. I've come to meet Nancy LeMay, the widow of Harold LeMay, who made his fortune in waste disposal and amassed one of the largest private collections of automobiles in the world.
Welcome,
Thank you,
Sir
Nancy.
David. It's so
Thank you.
nice to have you here.
So, where's the house?
It's right back there.
That's the house.
Yes.
And all of this is the collection?
Right.
Harold LeMay referred to his home as a house with a 300-car garage. Can't wait to take a peek inside.
What I really got to remember is how to turn all the lights on.
Look at it. How on earth did one man collect this? This is amazing. The age of this, what is it, 1904? I've never heard of it, an Orient buckboard. The place is absolutely stuffed chocker full of everything, isn't it?
Oh, I know. I know. I can't even think of anything he didn't collect.
And what's the history of this? It says, to Nancy with love, Harold.
Well, this is one of the first automatic dishwashers.
No.
Put
That's brilliant. Gosh, let loose in here for a while, eh? Got to be some things I wouldn't mind. We'll have to, somebody will have to check our pockets when we leave. Or check mine. Oh, she's gone. Where is she? That Dolly Parton over there?
Yes, it is.
Yes. John Wayne, like the hell I am.
Right.
Yeah. What an amazing character Harold was, wasn't he?
Certainly was an adventure.
Yeah, I bet.
That adventure began back in 1963 when Nancy married Harold. And it was the start of 30 years of passionate collecting.
What job did he do?
He owned garbage companies.
What, so there's money in rubbish, is that it?
That's exactly right.
Good Lord.
He loved the history. He loved the find, where you go to get them.
So it was the passion of collecting, it seems.
No. It was more saving history. He used to say, I don't smoke and I don't drink, I collect cars.
Yeah.
If you think this is amazing, you ain't seen nothing yet. Harold ran out of space at home, so he bought more properties for storage. The largest an entire school and grounds. His son Doug is continuing the grand tour.
Good Lord, look at it, it's never ending.
We have cars from 1886 to 2013.
Harold lived on to 81, passing away in 2000. By then, the collection was estimated at over 3,000 vehicles.
Now, look at this. Now, what is this and what's the date? I don't know.
This is the first patented automobile, which was an 1886 Benz.
That's the car I want to have a look at. That one there. And that one reminds me of that film, The Great Gatsby.
Yeah, that's that era. It's the 36 Auburn.
God, it's so ostentatious, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what is that engine? That is what, 6, 8, 10 in line?
8.
And it's, look at the colour of it, look. Yeah. And what would she do if you had it flat out, do you reckon?
Oh, as fast as you wanted to hold on to the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Because some of them are just beautiful.
Well, they are.
It's like the, the gas cap here. That's where they put the gas cap.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
So they hid it in the design of the car.
Outrageous. Do you know why he had this passion, this obsession to collect cars?
I don't, really.
No? You're not going to buy any more cars, are you?
I buy them all the time, yeah.
Oh, dear. You're incorrigible. You're worse than your father.
Yeah, well, no, he trained me.
Yeah, he did.
Among the thousands of cars that Harold saved, he had a particular fondness for the Ford Model T.
And is this a Model T?
This is a Model T. Basically the same engine you got today.
And the Model T was the one that really started the whole revolution of the motor industry, wasn't it?
He did an awful lot building so many of them so cheap.
Yeah.
A working man could buy a Model T.
Well, it sounds to the untrained ear very sweet.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to learn how to drive a Model T?
I wouldn't mind the challenge, I must tell
Well,
you.
there's really not too much challenge to it.
You
Just
reckon?
forget everything you know about driving cars except how to turn the steering wheel.
One of the most important cars ever made, the Model T Ford was mass-produced and affordable for working people. This one, named Nancy, after his wife, is one of the first cars that Harold acquired. I'm going to take her for a spin.
You got 3 pedals. The left pedal is high and low. In the middle is neutral.
Yeah, all right.
Okay? The
Right.
right pedal's the brake.
Yeah.
All through the starting.
Okay.
So you ready?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so basically, we're ready to go. So this is the throttle.
Yeah.
Now to go, you
Yeah.
give it a little bit of throttle, and you step on that pedal, the left pedal. There you go. So then you just push it all the way to the floor. It's not going to go much faster.
She's plenty fast enough for me, thank you. I am driving a piece of history after all.
Not like anything you've ever driven before.
No. I don't want it to run away with me.
Probably don't have to give it so much throttle.
Yeah. About 1,000 miles, you'll be doing good.
Between 1908 and 1927, the Ford company built 15 million of these bone shakers, and it put the whole world on wheels.
Quite a sharp turn. Help you.
It's like driving a bloody bus. But you could imagine, though, that when this was first on the roads, and you were the fella that had one, and God, the bee's knees, eh?
Yeah.
God. She would go quite fast if you let her.
Yep.
I'm none the wiser why Harold LeMay was so obsessed with collecting cars. But I'm glad that he did. You have to admire a man who has saved so much for us to enjoy today.
God, dear. What an experience. Thank you, Doug.
You did an excellent job.
Bless you.
You can come back and teach our class now.
I will. It definitely was an experience. One that I don't think I shall enjoy encountering again.
Really been a pleasure.
Thank you. Great. I'm now going to see if I can stagger off to my car now. Oh, blimey. I'm going back to power steering.
I'm travelling south into the foothills of Mount Rainier. Long before plane makers, coffee bars and global tech companies dominated the Pacific Northwest, the wealth in this region came from trains and trees. I've come to a museum which preserves an old timber camp and the unique steam engines that helped make timber king. I love trains, but I'm about to meet a man who is actually living his boyhood dream.
I think I know that sound. Good grief, Tempo. Well, I was going to say good morning, but I don't know what to say. And you are Rowdy.
I am Rowdy, and you must be David.
That's it, yeah. So what is it then, this?
This was a Model T 1-ton truck that was built to haul one log to a mill. And whoever was the man that was driving it with one log on it, because the logs then were huge, was a much braver man than me. I have for you, right here, the designated uniform that we are going to need to be able to go into the railroad section of this museum.
I see. Never told me about this. Engine driver, Mark 1.
Rowdy looks after the most comprehensive collection of steam-powered logging trains in North America. These turn-of-the-century timber trains pushed steam technology to the limit.
This engine, built in 1929, is known as the Climax.
Why did anybody decide to call it the Climax?
You have me on that.
I rest my case. I'm not going to discuss it any further, but it's very interesting that a steam engine is called the Climax.
Let's just put it this way. This locomotive, when it's running, it vibrates and bounces a lot.
Well, that probably answers the question then. Yes, good. Well done, Rowdy. You tactfully got out of that.
Rowdy has a treat in store for me. It has been my childhood dream to drive a train. I can't miss the chance to take a ride on this classic diesel engine.
This is a real beast, isn't it?
It is a monstrous beast.
This diesel is very iconic
It
to
is.
the American railroad system.
It is. This is Josh Kaibo.
Hello, Josh.
He is our diesel
sir.
man.
We've got 1,700 horsepower of American iron. Would you like to take a look at it?
1,700 of American horsepower.
That's right.
I like it, sir.
Well, let's take a look at it.
Yeah, come on. Let's get this thing rolling. It's these overalls. They're a bit skin tight here.
Would you like to blow the horn, David?
That sounds a bit rude. Terribly butch, isn't it? You know, I've never been in one of these monsters. But the thing about this, you feel as though you know them because they're so iconic. Yeah, looking forward, it's quite exciting, really. Here we go. I've got no steering wheel here, and I have no brakes on my side. So if anything happens, I can't. Manners. Oh, it's better out than in, isn't it? Eh? Oh. What would be your top speed? Do you dare take it?
It's our maximum speed on this railroad. It's 15 miles an hour.
15. Well, not very fast. How old is this track then, Josh?
It's well over 100 years old at this point.
This vintage diesel locomotive hauled the freight trains that built America in the post-war years. She was built for the Northern Pacific Railroad, known as the Main Street of the Northwest, linking Seattle to the east coast of America.
She was built for the Northern Pacific 1956, and she was on transcontinental freight trains, you know, crawl up over mountain passes, scoot across the prairie. She'd be pulling tons and tons of freight. It's kind of nice to be able to take the old gal out and, you know, put her through its paces and make sure she's still earning her keep.
Why do you call this mechanical machine a she?
All the old boys, they'd spend so much time working on machines, they didn't have time for a girlfriend or a wife, so you end up married to the thing, might as well be your wife.
That's the best explanation I've ever heard.
I have arrived at Elm, a small town that's big on trains.
David, I hope you enjoyed your ride.
I certainly did.
Pleasure meeting you.
Well done, sir.
Well, that was a thrill, and there's more to come.
you have fun?
Very interesting. Lovely.
Well, now we are going to go and get on to, in my opinion, what a real engine is.
Oh, right.
What we have here is we have a Willamette.
A what?
A Willamette geared locomotive. It is one of 6 left in existence, and it's the only one that operates.
What was the attraction of these old
Long
machines?
story short, the second highway crossing up the line here, that's my uncle's place. And we'd visit in the summertime, and every day that we were here, 6 times a day, little Rowdy would run out there and wave at the train as it would go by.
No.
And it became a yearly tradition to ride it, and I'm turning 30 next month. I've been doing it for 17 years. I literally grew up with them.
Rowdy's geared loco is not everybody's cup of tea, but I love them. Just look at the cogs on that.
Yeah, this is the bit that fascinates me. This is what you were talking about.
Yes, this engine is geared 3 to 1. So what that means is the engine set is spinning over 3 times to every 1 time that the wheel spins over. So that gives this locomotive a huge volume of torque at very slow speeds.
So all of this gearing along here that looks very complicated is in fact what was designed to give it the torque
exactly
that it needs to pull all the logs. So I've got to wear this because I'm an engine driver now, am I?
Mm-hmm.
How's that? Right, I'll get up here. Stand by. Chief engineer coming aboard.
Okay, there we go.
Turn-of-the-century timber barons needed trains with the power to haul logs over rough ground. The geared engine was born.
As you see, it doesn't go very fast, but I am pulling this entire train with very little effort. This engine could pull probably another 3 or 4 cars that we have back there easily.
The gear system transfers the engine's power to every wheel. She may not be the fastest train on the track, but she's one of the strongest. I imagine she must have been quite a sight for 5-year-old Rowdy.
That crossing right there, that's where I grew up. Yeah, that's right where I used to watch these 6 times a day.
Bloody romantic, isn't it, eh?
Good grief, Penfold. It's hot and noisy in here. This is a steam train, but it's not coal-fired. Timber trains were oil burners because coal cinders caused forest fires, a hazard then as now. The highlight of my timberland journey is the crossing over the Nisqually River. It's fed by glaciers high up on the slopes of Mount Rainier, which is hidden today by clouds.
Where's the gauge that tells us how much water we have?
That's what these 2 glasses right here, that tells us both where the water is at.
Hope we've got plenty of water then, have we?
We got plenty of water.
Famous last word.
Built in the 20s, this engine spent its working life hauling timber before she was sold for scrap in 1962. Rowdy knows her every nut and bolt after spending 2 years helping to restore her to her former glory. There's plenty of life in the old girl. She now easily hauls tourists instead of timber, giving them a real taste of local history.
Okay, Stephen, that's all.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome, thank you.
Quiet chap, Steve. Didn't even know he was there.
Down we go. It's been a sort of boyhood dream to drive the real deal. Thanks a lot.
It was my boyhood dream.
Yeah?
And now I'm doing it.
And you're still doing it?
I still do it every day.
Good for you.
Oh.
Oh, hot.
I'm on a 1,200-mile adventure from Seattle to Los Angeles. It's week 2 of my 5-week journey, and I'm starting from the evergreen state of Washington, following the Cascade Mountain Range 200 miles southwards and traveling up into the high prairie land of Oregon. I'll be burning rubber along the way.
Oh. Jesus. Wet.
Trucking the Oregon Trail.
What's that? Mount Hood?
That is Mount Hood.
You don't see that every day of the week, do you?
Sure don't.
And riding high in a World War II fighter plane.
You ready to go?
Yes. First, though, it's wipers on in Washington. You can see where they got the evergreen nickname from. It's chucking it down. And there are more trees here than you could shake a stick at. But deep beneath this beautiful and awe-inspiring scenery lies the eastern edge of the Pacific Ring of Fire. Tectonic plates grind against each other, creating a constant potential for huge earthquakes and devastating volcanic eruptions. Sitting atop one of the deepest fault lines is Mount St. Helens. I'm on my way there now and getting quite excited about what's going to be my first helicopter flight of this fantastic journey.
Hey, looking forward to this. Yes. Here he is.
This morning, there's a friendly, beardy bloke, Ross Cristiano, and he's going to take me on a tour of the mountain.
Hi, Ross.
Hi, David.
Despite the blue skies, weather on the mountain can change in seconds, so getting to see the summit is far from guaranteed.
Listen, I trust you. Hundreds wouldn't, but I do. But he's got a good safety record, hasn't it?
It's one of the best, yeah.
One of the best.
Yeah.
Yep. OK, then, sir. You take me where you want me.
OK, let's do it.
Right.
Now, not a lot of people know this, but yours truly is a fully qualified helicopter pilot. But because I want to enjoy the ride, I'm going to let this whippersnapper do the driving. I wonder how much Ross has flown and whether he can match my 600 hours in the air.
How many hours have you done on this then, Ross?
Total time I have about 1,800 hours.
Oh, well, yeah. Not bad, I suppose, for a learner.
Yeah. All right. I'm ready to go if you are.
Ready to go.
All right.
These Bell 206 Long Rangers are pretty useful and adaptable bits of kit. And when Ross isn't ferrying me about, he's doing far more important stuff with his whirly-bird.
So, this particular helicopter, we were fighting fires in during the summertime. And so it's used for fire suppression, for tours like what we're doing now. It's used for construction. The 206 is basically the workhorse in the industry as far as helicopters go.
But back in 1980, there was something far more devastating than a forest fire here. A massive volcanic eruption that literally reshaped the land.
Oh, look at that.
So this is the sediment that was, pushed down with the eruption.
So the brown stuff, like the sand that we're looking at or we're passing over, is the spoil from the eruption?
Correct, yeah.
Oh,
this soil came all the way from Mount St. Helens. We're flying over about 200 feet of sediment.
I'm good grief, Penfold.
"40 years ago, Mount St. Helens exploded with a force 1,600 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Everything within an 8-mile radius was destroyed in seconds. It was the largest eruption in US history and tragically claimed the lives of 57 people.
Get off the grid! Let's go.
This was nature at its most raw and destructive.
starting to get into view of the blast zone.
They see the remnants of it. There's one or two trees just there lying down, all in the same direction.
Imagine this explosion occurring and sending a 1,200-foot wave of water all the way across up to the cliff, back down into the water, and destroying everything around it.
Good.
Some of these logs are still here from that explosion.
What, in the water?
Yeah.
Oh, they're logs, are they?
Yeah.
Wowie, wow. Oh, mine's starting a matchstick firm. I've got enough wood here. I'd earn a bloody fortune.
This water temperature rose so high from the explosion that it killed everything inside.
Nature can be very cruel as well as being very beautiful. I must say, it's really impressive country. Really is impressive.
The force of the 1980 eruption blew out the entire north flank of this massive peak. Here once stood 1,300 feet of solid rock, forming a near-perfect cone, but now deep ravines etch its broken north face. As we were warned, there's cloud cover this afternoon, and the summit is hidden from view.
We're going to get up above the cloud layer here.
Ross decides to take the Jet Ranger up to 8,500 feet.
Good Lord, look at that. That is just wonderful.
Pretty spectacular.
At this height, the magnitude of what happened here becomes truly apparent.
It's wonderful. Very, very impressive.
A new dome's growing in the center of the crater, forced up by millions of tons of lava still active below the surface.
You can see some people along the rim.
Oh, yeah.
Right on the edge.
Good grief. That's quite a bit of a hike, that, isn't it?
It sure would be.
To help protect the volcano's fragile ecosystem, descending into the crater isn't allowed. But the view from here is stunning.
You can see the glaciers on each side of the dome.
Yeah.
Cradled in the crater is one of the world's youngest glaciers, already over 600 feet thick.
The cone in the middle of that is just a little puff of smoke coming out.
Little steam?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
You can just see it. It looks as though it's on its way.
At just 40,000 years old, Mount St. Helens is considered to be a relatively young volcano. It's still being regularly shaken by earthquakes. Slightly worrying to think that this will someday erupt again.
I think I've just seen the footprints of the Bigfoot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, what a trip. Seeing all this from the air is pretty breathtaking and truly quite humbling.
Oh, blimey.
Pretty fun trip, right?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
What an experience that was. Really great.
But there's no rest for the wicked. Next, I'm on my way to Oregon, where I'm going to be burning some rubber.
Got bloody kangaroo juice in that one, didn't he? God.
So it's goodbye, Washington State. Over the Great Columbia River we go, and hello to Portland, Oregon. I'm heading for the city's famous International Raceway. Since the early 1960s, this track has been home to a whole variety of motor races. But today is Wednesday, and as nearly everyone in Oregon knows, Wednesday means drag. No, not as in pantomime dame, but in drag car racing.
Right, now this is where it all happens. Yeah, it is. Look at it, it's like a runway.
Now, I don't know much about this sport, and I've a feeling there is a lot to learn.
It's so sticky, I can't. Help. Somebody help. Oh, that's better, yeah.
Thankfully, there's a bloke here who can show me the ropes. A kind of drag king, I suppose.
Is that Corey? Is he
Corey, I'm Corey.
Ah, Corey. David Jason.
David, nice to meet you.
And you, sir.
Nice to meet you. This is my daughter, Cora.
Hello, Cora.
This is Cora. This is David.
Hi. I understand you're a bit of a mad racing madman, or mad woman, should I say.
She's a little crazy. She's blown one up this year.
When did you get involved in it?
Since I was born.
What?
He almost missed my birth because he was racing. So
that is a true story.
I have been involved in this since I was born. I actually started racing cars when I was 12 years old. I had been begging him since, I would say, 6 or 7 years old to get a car.
Cool, you must be bloody rich or silly, one of the two. I don't know which one it is.
Not rich, I can tell you that.
Well, you're silly then.
Oh, yes.
Little silly.
Back in the day, racers would often use the main street or main drag of a town, and so the term drag racing was coined.
I think a lot of it came after the war. Guys, they had skills that where they could put their skills to use was into the cars. They would modify things, and they would use fuel tanks off old airplanes for like belly tankers, and they would take old Fords from the 20s and 30s, and they would modify them and put different engines in them, and that's kind of how it evolved, I think.
While Cora proudly represents a new generation of racers, her dad's keen to introduce me to one of the good old boys.
This is Ron Weirstick.
Hello,
David
Ron.
Jason.
Hi.
Are you the 78-year-old kid?
Yeah, that's me on the block. Yeah.
These young kids don't know what's going on.
No, you're absolutely right.
Ron's been building and racing cars since his teenage days, and now at 80 years young, still has the passion that burns bright.
Well,
that's the radiator.
The radio, why is it that configuration and not standing up like a proper one?
So it doesn't have the wind resistance.
Oh, well, that makes sense. It's time for Corey to show me just what one of his cars is capable of. I'll be watching from a safe distance.
Come on, David, get in.
What?
Come on, get in.
Me? Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, I'm not sure this is in my contract.
I hope you're going to treat me with respect.
I will treat you with respect.
Thank you, sir. Benny.
Okay.
A bloody stupid thing to do, isn't it?
We've cleaned the tires off.
We cleaned the tires, okay.
The tires are heated up.
Yeah.
We're pulling to the starting line. We are getting to the point where we're going to light the first bulb. Now, we are pre-staged. Now, I am going to lean on the car, get into the torque converter. We're an inch forward. We're in. Brace yourself.
Yeah.
Go.
Wept.
And I was late.
It was late.
I was late on that one.
Didn't feel like it.
And we're done. That's it.
Is that it?
That's the end of the finish line right there.
God, that is that first takeoff.
What?
That
How did that feel against your body?
It was against my back. It pushed me.
Pinned you.
Yes, it did.
Now, the thing about this type of drag racing, known as bracket racing, is that it's not always the first past the post that wins. Instead, it's all about estimating how long it takes your car to cover a quarter of a mile. So you get a first go to judge how fast your car will run, then in the race you try to hit that timing bang on. There's some serious acceleration in these cars, and I must admit it's making me somewhat nervous not being in the driving seat. I've got brakes my side. At least I've got holes where a brake should be. I was... but it didn't work, and he kept going. Come along, James. Off we go again.
Let's do it again.
Go.
0.86. Oh, finish line.
Good, man. God, that was good. That was fast.
It gets better every time, doesn't it?
Yes. I can see now why people do it.
Oh, it's fun.
See, I'll be all right. Oh, I really, really enjoyed that. Yeah. Can we do it again? Like next year or something? Oh, Christ. Oh, sorry. Just pick that up, eh? Oh, that's enough for me. Time to hand over to the professionals. Dad and daughter are going to race. Old school drag. First past the post. It's great, isn't it? And to make things a little more interesting, I put $10 on Cora to beat her old dad. Benny. Oh, he was much faster than she was. Didn't half go, though, didn't they, eh? Very impressive. Impressive? But that's me lunch money gone west.
I'm sorry.
What happened to you? You're not even going to let her win?
There's no way in heck I'm going to let her win.
Never.
Ever. There will never be a let win, ever. She is going to have to earn it.
Quite right, too. And you didn't earn it just earlier when you lost the race.
I'm sorry, David. I let you down.
You did. I'll settle my debt when the producer comes, and I'll get the money out of the kitty.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
No, I owe you $10.
We're fine. We're fine.
There you go. Well, I may have lost, but I tell you what, I feel a great deal richer having spent some time with those two. While they get ready for an evening of serious racing, I take a wander through the Raceway's other big summer attraction. This is the heyday of American cars. This is what we as lads were used to lust after. It was so big, so outrageous. It's a weekly vintage rally featuring over 1,000 very special sets of wheels. All this is transporting me back to my misspent youth. It was that American song, I took my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. My American pie, here it is. Wrap it up and take it. Look at this. Is that a bit, you know, over the top or what? For the folks here, these beautiful cars are a true labour of love. You're looking at decades of painstaking restoration work on almost every vehicle. Bloody hell, it's low, isn't it? Blinking heck. And the result is a big fat slice of American automotive history. They're a pretty warm-hearted bunch, too. All proceeds from this unique show go to local charities. It just knocks the senses, it really does. Overwhelms you. Back at the drag track, the sun's beginning to dip and the serious racing's in full swing. Bloody hell! Got bloody kangaroo juice in that one, didn't he? God. I have to say, I do think they're all as mad as hatters, but what the heck? They seem to be having a grand old time. And do you know what? I think I may be just beginning to catch the bug.
Practiced in the park. We were singing bye bye Miss American Pie.
You're joining me on the journey of a lifetime as I take a 1,200-mile trip from Seattle to Los Angeles. Today I'm in Oregon's biggest city, Portland. Besides having a couple of good breweries, this place is famous for its innovation and industry. In particular, they make something here I've always been fascinated by: big, tough trucks. There are well over 15 million big rigs on US roads now, and today I'm going to find out a bit more about them. I've come to see where they make what's possibly the most classic-looking, heavy-duty truck of them all, the Western Star.
How you doing? Corey Rose.
Corey, hi,
Nice
David
to meet
Jason.
You. Nice to meet you.
Hi, and you.
And welcome to Western Star. You'll need these glasses to go inside the plant.
Thank you.
And let's go for a tour.
All right. This is a huge complex, isn't it?
Yeah, 500,000 square feet.
How many people do you employ?
We have just under 800 employees.
Each day, 32 trucks roll off the production line here, and it all starts, as you might imagine, with the chassis.
This is our chassis area. And this is where all the chassis are built up here.
If you're doing a repetitive job all the time, your mind goes and you become automatic, and that can be dangerous. Do the people change their job?
Absolutely. People change jobs all the time. Constantly working towards people doing 3 different jobs in 3 different areas. We move people around all the time here in the plant.
Looks like they've even moved in a few astronauts to help out with the painting.
This is finished cab. This is where the cabs are finished off. The interior of the cabs, this is where all the upholstery, the wiring, insulation, all the little things that make this truck a trucker's home.
It was back in 1967 when the Western Star Company began, and today in this huge assembly plant, they carefully combine state-of-the-art robotics with good old-fashioned human skill.
Heavy stuff. How powerful is that engine?
About 700 horsepower, between 600 and 700 horsepower.
Quick as that. Pretty impressive, I must say. Here, look at this.
You know, it's a bit like a high-class tailor's shop for trucks. They're all carefully custom built, be it for logging, mining, or long-haul freight shifting.
Why do you take that much care about one customer?
Pride. This is a real family-oriented company. Honestly, we build the best trucks. These are the best truck builders in the world right here.
Well, I think I have a pretty good idea about how they put these beautiful beasts together, but now I really want to get in one and put some pedal to the metal, as these trucking types like to say.
Look at it. It's like a bloody aeroplane in here. He's got more switches and controls and dials than I have on my bleeding helicopter.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
David Corey has been trucking for over 30 years and knows this old country like the back of his hand. He offered to take me down the road, making me an honorary trucker for the day in this bad boy.
Oh, there. What's that? Mount Hood?
Now, there's Mount Hood. Beautiful view today. This is one of the most beautiful scenic drives that I love to do. This is the original part of the old Oregon Trail.
This afternoon, the sun's shining and the view is sublime. It makes me wonder how those early Oregon Trail pioneers must have felt when they first saw Mount Hood. The legendary trail brought almost 500,000 emigrants to America's west coast during the mid-1800s. Surely they could only have dreamed of the luxury I'm travelling in today.
Oh, look at that for a view, eh?
Yep.
You don't see that every day of the week.
You can't beat that view.
You can't. How impressive is that? How deep does the snow get?
It can be very, very dangerous in the winter here. It could get upwards to 10, 12 feet plus at the pass. This road tends to get very icy, and you just have to take it easy. We've had a lot of rollovers, a lot of tragic endings due to inexperienced drivers not paying attention to the road. But you can't control Mother Nature. She's going to roll the dice, and whatever she throws at you, you just go ahead and you deal with it, and you just kind of go from there.
Do these trucks still use the old-fashioned CBs?
Yes, we do. Going across country, very, very helpful. Very informational with what's going on as far as traffic, weather conditions. My handle back in the day, I was known as Cougar.
Cougar?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I think my handle would be the Lardy. They used to call me that when I was working on Frost. The Lardy-dar. Rhyming slang, the start. So I would say that. Breaker, breaker, this is Lardy. Anybody got their ears on?
That would work.
That would work, wouldn't it?
That would work.
Yeah.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts, bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
You can go a long way on this. You know, it is very quiet, very insulated. This is your home away from home.
Yeah.
I can't be in an office cubicle in a building. I love being on the road. I love being in the wide open. I love being outdoors. And for me, you can't beat what we're doing right here.
I've been to Boston, Charleston, Dayton, Louisiana, Washington, Houston, Kingston, Texas, Montana.
What would you say, roughly, how many miles do you think that you've done in your career as a driver?
Put just about 1 million miles on my record. So almost at that million-miler club.
You are? You're million miles?
Just about almost 1 million, yep.
Have you got a record of that?
I've been everywhere.
Well, today we may not have added many miles to David's record, but I love the way the landscape constantly changes in front of your eyes. A bit like a movie. And all the time, Mount Hood can be seen in the distance, watching over us. Mind you, before I can hang up my spurs for the night, there's just one more stop.
Okay, so I'm going to have a go at driving. And this is Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
Hi, David.
Well, that bit's easy.
Truck tester Aaron has arranged for me to take the controls of the very latest Freightliner. If Western Star is the rugged rascal of the roads, this sister truck is the Starship Enterprise.
Now, that wasn't me, that's the road. Now, it's changing gear by itself, isn't it? I just heard it.
It's an automated manual. So it's like a manual, but the computer is doing everything for you.
Okay.
You're a natural.
Well, I like it. It behaves itself, doesn't it? It's getting used to the width is a bit of a problem. And, of course, she's rather sluggish. She's a bit heavy. But then you'd expect that because of the size of it.
Yes, and the weight you're pulling.
We're on the company's proving track, where the latest innovations are put to the test.
We're 20 miles an hour, and there's a car parked right in the middle of our road.
That's the target. To go straight into the target.
Don't want me to put my foot on the brake?
No.
Your instinct wants to take over. I want to put my foot on the brake. And
Bloody hell.
So that was an active brake assist.
We're a bit late. I was just about to put my foot on the brake because it didn't I didn't think it was going to come on, but I should have trusted.
That's the whole purpose, is to wait till the last second, and it knows how much force to apply to the truck, or that it can apply, and it'll stop the truck in time.
Well, I can see now why they let old Buggins here have a go of their $150,000 truck. It's packed with all the latest safety gear.
So what do you think the future of trucking then? Is it going to be robots?
That's a tricky question. I think in the future there might be routes where there's fully autonomous vehicles with nobody inside the cab for goods that are not real expensive, but I think the safety features are always necessary.
Well, it's great to get a glimpse of the future, but today has really made me feel the span of American history.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
That was a real experience.
Oh, good. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
For me, the Western Star and the Freightliner represent something of the spirit and endeavour of those early pioneers who, in their trusty covered wagons, travelled thousands of miles across this land in the hope of a better life. I'm continuing my odyssey through Oregon's high desert. There seems to be an airfield every 100 miles or so around here, which suits me just fine. But I've been told what's inside this hangar is rather special. Blimey, what a wonderful collection of Second World War aircraft. Looks like there are some pretty rare old crates in here, each with a story to tell. And what's rather remarkable is that this spectacular squadron is all the work of one fiendishly clever but very modest man.
That's the man I've come to meet.
Now that's what I call making an entrance.
Well, you must be David.
You must be Jack.
I am.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Good. Well, thank you. Welcome to Madras, Oregon.
Thank you. Bless you. What is it you've just arrived in?
It's a Cessna Mustang.
Cessna Mustang.
Good airplane.
Yeah. Why didn't you arrive by car like the rest of us? Which is the first one that you bought then?
This airplane right here, P-51.
And here it is.
Yep. Went down, bought it, and flew it home. Never flown one in my life.
Really?
Jack's love of flying machines is quite infectious, and I suspect it's that passion which prompted him to start up this unique collection back in 1983.
It's probably one of the most blindest airplane I've ever flown. You can't see nothing in front of you on landing.
Well, yeah. Now I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. Horrible, horrible.
How often does anybody take any of these out?
In the summertime, probably at least once a week.
Really?
And then they go to air shows on weekends.
Ah.
And then in the wintertime, they're kind of resting.
Yeah.
Jack's family worked in logging, and as a young pilot, he quickly realized that choppers could be used to harvest timber in the hard-to-reach locations. Back in the 70s, he saw a new kind of helicopter, the Sikorsky Sky Crane. Jack loved it so much, he later bought the rights to make it, added some improvements of his own, and so the mighty Ericsson Sky Crane was born.
It's nothing like flying a helicopter that has a bunch of power, unlimited power, and it's phenomenal. You can go from sea level to 10,000 feet in a minute and a half.
Good Lord.
Boy, it's unbelievable.
It is.
You know, it's got over 9,000 horsepower.
As we continue our tour, there's one plane that, for me, really stands out.
Here's the P-38.
Oh, this is the P-38, yeah.
16 months after Japan's bombing of Pearl Harbor, a squad of these fighters was sent on a secret mission to eliminate the architect of the vicious attack, Admiral Yamamoto. It was one of these planes, piloted by a local Oregon farmer, Rex Barber, that shot Yamamoto out of the sky in 1943. Some military historians believe the killing of the admiral was a tipping point in the Pacific campaign.
At the time, it was a
big deal.
Yes, yeah.
Because he was in charge of all the Imperial Navy of the Japanese.
There's not much you can say about that except it was a very important aircraft that did a very important job at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because all of these aircraft are still flown by Jack and his team of pilots, this hangar houses a living history. And for me, these fascinating planes represent a defining era of the American story.
This is a fantastic collection, though, isn't it, Jack? What does it all mean to you personally?
I was born in 1935. World War II was a very big impact on young kids' lives.
Yeah.
And I think that's why these airplanes, because that's what I relate to during World War II. It's something that sticks in your mind.
They were so important in helping to end the war.
Exactly.
And Jack's got a little surprise waiting. He's arranged for me to take a spin in his pride and joy, the P-51 Mustang. My pilot today is Jack's grandson, Mike. Jack taught him to fly when he was just 17, and he's already been lined up to look after the aircraft collection if the old man ever decides to retire.
Here you are. Here we are, Mike. You got it ready?
We're ready.
Okay. She all fueled up?
She's fueled up, I think.
Good. Right. Well, I can see you've got your shades on.
You should probably put yours on.
I'm going to put my shades
if you're ready, I can get started.
Yes.
So let me go grab the parachute, and we'll put your parachute on, and we'll get you up on top. Actually, we'll probably put you on top first. Put that on there.
It's quite weighty, isn't it?
Yep. In case of a fire, we're going to bail out. And I'll push you out, grab this handle, and pull.
Who's doing that, me or you?
You're going to pull.
Am I? Right.
I mean, I could try to pull, but I might be a long way away from you.
You'll be gone, won't you? Yeah. It's every man for himself, isn't it?
One Delta is in position and hold, Madras. You ready to go?
Yes. Yes, sir. Ready when you are.
And Mike, you're clear for brake release.
You know, as we lift into the air, I get this emotional feeling of what it must have been like if you were a young man in this aircraft and you were going to face the enemy. That's the ever-impressive Cascade Mountain Range over my shoulder to the west. And it's quite stunning to look down on the appropriately named Crooked River, snaking its way across the wide expanse of the prairie land and way, way off into the distance. This particular warbird is painted in the livery of the Red Tail Squadron. Now, I didn't know this, but during the Second World War, when American society was still racially segregated, the Red Tail pilots distinguished themselves as the first African-American airmen to serve in the US military. They played a critical role defending American bombers from enemy attack. And I also learned that the P-51 only reached its true potential when they decided to stick a British Rolls-Royce Merlin engine in it. That same engine powered the good old Spitfire, and allowed the American Mustang to fly much higher and faster than ever before. It's been a remarkable experience to be in this historic aircraft with Mike, one I'll treasure for a long time.
I'm going to tick his logbook, but there are a few notes I'm afraid I have to give him.
That's good. As long as you sign my logbook, I don't care.
You don't care? Well, that's not the way.
Yeah?
Ah, God! Oh, you're splitting me difference, love. All this is going to be cut out of the film.
I got you.
You know that, don't you?
No.
Thank you very much. Listen, thank you both. It was great. It really was lovely.
Business calls. And it's time for Jack and Mike to hit the high road in their rather neat Cessna. For me, I'll take the low road as my journey southwards continues. Starting in Madras in Central Oregon, I'll be going 600 miles to San Francisco. On this leg of the trip, I earn my crust on the Golden City's famous cable cars.
No such thing as a free ride.
I hit the fast lane with a unique American motorcycle club.
I shall have to watch my P's and Q's, won't I?
And I take to the skies in a legendary American chopper.
This helicopter burns so much fuel. Bloody hell, good job I'm not paying for it.
Today, my crew have dumped me in a used car lot.
They've told me that they're going to provide a nice vehicle to travel south, because it's a long journey by road. So I'm just having a little look round at the one I might choose. 1972 Buick. Very nice. I fancy this one, look. Plymouth. Yeah, lovely.
Hey, what are you doing parking here? Hang on, this is not my lift, is it? It is, you know.
Hello, Sir David. It's nice to meet you. I'm Sean, and welcome to Central Oregon.
Hello, Sean. Are you supposed to be driving me south in this?
Yes.
It's not quite what I was expecting, to be honest. But, having said that, it's in beautiful condition.
This 1945 Chevy school bus was in a very sorry state when Sean discovered it in the backwoods of Idaho in 2010. He then spent 5 years restoring it and now uses it to give guided tours of Oregon. There's no doubt he's done a great job on the bus, but I can't help but think there's one important detail that's not quite right.
Correct me when I'm wrong, but school buses are supposed to be yellow in America, aren't they?
They are. Matter of fact, they actually are called, the color is called school bus yellow.
Right.
But once a bus is decommissioned, you're not allowed to use school bus yellow from that point on. If you'd like, why don't you go ahead and get on and we'll head on out.
Okay. Oh, just my size, this. Yeah.
Well, it was a kid's school bus.
Of course, yes.
Ring, ring goes the bell. The cook in the lunchroom's ready to sell. You're lucky if you can find a seat. You're fortunate if you have time to eat.
Once we're on the road, Sean's enthusiasm for all things volcanic comes bubbling to the surface.
Soon as 3 o'clock rolls around.
Well, where you're going down to Crater Lake is actually pretty amazing. It's what's called a stratovolcano. What we are is we're in an area that's all volcanic, so we're traveling on top of old lava flows even as we speak.
Sean's bus is bouncing along at quite a lick over Oregon's lava landscape.
It's not the quietest vehicle, but it certainly bats along. It goes quite fast, doesn't it? I thought it was going to be much slower than this.
I've actually set a land speed record in this thing. I've done 90 miles an hour down in Utah.
I'm perfectly happy to stick within the speed limit today. But just in case Sean puts his foot down, I'm taking refuge in the back of the bus.
Oh, it's very nice back here.
I tried to make it nice everywhere. So anyways, now I've got you as a captive audience. So if you start flatlining, I got a defibrillator and we can just sort of shock you back to life. I tell that to everyone.
I'm hoping there's no need for that, Sean. However, I might need a sick bag if we stay on this bumpy road.
I think if we carry on like this, you'll be able to see what I had for breakfast. I don't know about anything else. Oh, blimey. When are we there?
We are almost there. We will be there shortly. We don't have far to go. Are you always this grumpy? I tell you, I've never had anybody grumpier than you.
Cheeky devil. Cool. Even after 2 hours on a rickety bus, it's hard to stay grumpy with views like this. The Oregon landscape we're driving through has been shaped by eruptions from volcanoes over thousands of years. Some are still active and will erupt again in the future.
So we got a little ways to go and then we'll get up there, and even though you haven't been happy with the bus, I think you'll be happy with Crater Lake.
No, I'm happy with the driver. It's just that the bus is showing its age, that's all.
Excuse me? My bus looks beautiful. It has character and it has style.
Oh, I have to agree with you there.
Another thing I have to agree with Sean about is that up here at 6,000 feet, the view really is awe-inspiring. And is about to get even better.
Oh my gosh, there it is. Wow. Okay, here we are.
Good grief. You certainly don't see a view like that every day of the week.
No. Let's go ahead and step out and check this out.
Oh, good Lord. It's stunning.
It is. It's an amazing volcano. I mean, look how big this is. This is like 6 miles wide by 5 miles wide. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah. One of the great natural wonders of, certainly of America, if not the world, eh?
This crater was formed over 7,500 years ago when the volcano erupted and collapsed in on itself. It was such a huge explosion that ash reached 30 miles high and traveled 700 miles to the Canadian border. No rivers flow in or out of Crater Lake. It's simply topped up by rain and melting snow.
So when this thing blew up, sort of as a last gasp, we still had one vent that was coming up through the bottom, and that's what Wizard Island is right there.
I wonder if it's called Wizard Island because it looks a bit like a wizard's hat.
I know, it sort of does.
Yeah.
It sort of does.
Oh, well, that's absolutely stunning, I must say. Thank you very much, Sean, for taking me here and showing me it on my journey.
Well, I'm really glad you enjoyed it, and I do think this is a nice way to end the Oregon portion of your trip.
Yeah. How wonderful.
I'm continuing my West Coast adventure by leaving Crater Lake in Oregon and traveling over 400 miles south through the state of California. My first stop in the Golden State is its fourth largest city, San Francisco. It's home to the notorious Alcatraz prison and the breathtaking Golden Gate Bridge. It's also famous for a unique form of transport that's been around since 1873.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is Rob.
Rob, hi, David Jason.
I've come to the beating heart of the San Francisco Municipal Railway to find out more.
One of the things that is so iconic to San Francisco is the tram. You call it the tram, what is it?
We call it the cable car.
Cable car.
Well, I stand corrected. But so far in San Francisco, I haven't seen any cables.
So it's similar to what you would call a ski lift. When you see the cable over your head and the cars are traveling, it's inverted. So the cable's now down in the slot, in the street, and the cars have what's called a grip that fits through that slot and grabs onto the cable.
Underground pulleys guide over 10 miles of steel cable beneath the streets of San Francisco. The cables alone weigh over 72 tons. And that's before any cars or passengers are added. As a lover of all things mechanical, I'm keen to find out what's powerful enough to shift such an incredible weight.
So we're gonna go ahead and go down and watch the propulsion system here. This is the heart. This is what moves all the cars. It's all from this powerhouse right here.
Oh my God.
14 powerhouses once served all the cable car lines in San Francisco, but most were destroyed by an earthquake in 1906. Now the only surviving network is powered from here, and I can't wait to have a closer look.
We use electricity to power the system.
Yes.
In the old days, it was steam. On the outside of the building, you'll see the old steam chimney, still standing today, even though we don't use steam power.
So where's our electric motors?
See this big square motor right here. This electric motor is a 600-volt DC electric motor, 500 horsepower.
There are 4 motors. Each one is capable of shifting more than 18 cable cars fully loaded with passengers at any one time. I've done the sums, and that's the weight equivalent of nearly 50 adult elephants. It's time for me to put those cables to the test with my own private cable car.
They've allotted me this to go for a ride, see what it's actually like. And I've got 2 of the stars of this vehicle, and here is Willa.
Hey.
Hello, love.
Welcome.
Lovely to see you. And this is Dwayne.
Hello.
And Dwayne is my conductor, and he will be taking the tickets.
The tickets.
And you'll be wanting money for those
Absolutely. $7, very small pay.
Okay, I'll see you later. Willa,
Okay.
Come on, you and I will go. We don't need Dwayne, do we?
We don't.
I'm on the Powell Hyde line, which goes from Fisherman's Wharf to downtown Union Square. Passing through, you won't believe this, but it's true, uptown Nob Hill. At 2 miles long, it takes in some of the city's best views in a rattly 20-minute trip.
Willa, what is your official title? Are you the driver or the handbraker? Or...
I am the grip person.
So for short, you're the gripper, are you?
I am for sure the gripper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, traffic jam.
Little traffic jam. You want to sit? You want to walk around, or are you okay with that?
I'm okay with this, ma'am.
You know, stuff like that, when people do that, we get really angry with them.
Oh, well, you should have told me first.
Okay, okay.
Back in 1869, people used horse-drawn streetcars to get around. But the steep hills of San Francisco caused many animals to slip and get injured. So London-born Andrew Smith Halliday invented the cable car to make getting round easier and safer. Today, only 3 lines of the original 23 remain, but little else has changed. From the design of the cars to the technology which drives them.
So in a minute, you're going to pull the lever, which will grip the cable, and off we go, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on.
The cable might only be moving at 9.5 miles an hour.
Blimey, now we're going up.
But I'm starting to wish San Francisco was a bit flatter.
It's quite, unbelievable that the cable that we've seen in the machine house is going all the way up here, right the way round and back to the motorhouse, and that is what's pulling us along.
Each year, about 25 million people visit San Francisco, with 6 million of them choosing to take in the sights from an iconic cable car.
This is the end of the line. This is where all the cable cars bank. So we have to throw out the cable and get behind the cable car.
Yeah.
And wait till I turn and turn around to go back.
It looks like we're in for a long wait, but the crews have their own special way of staying entertained.
Now, Dwayne, I understand you're pretty cool at bell ringing. Yeah?
I try.
You try?
I try.
Are you going to give us now a demonstration of your skills, please, of bell ringing? Right.
Sure.
Go on.
How about you ring the bell?
I can't ring it like that.
I think you can ring it. Come on, step inside here.
I'll tell you what, it's harder than you think, though.
How's that, Will?
That's good. That's good.
If she likes it, I like it.
Your arm tired, huh?
I'm exhausted. It's not easy. This bell ringing now.
Our cable car has finally reached the front of the queue, ready to return to the depot, or as these guys call it, the depot. But first, all 7 tons of it needs to be facing the other way, which is where this giant turntable comes in.
Go on, then. They get you working, don't they? No such thing as a free ride.
Okay? You gotta push now.
Oh, blimey.
No. You can...
Got me doing that as well, have you?
Watch your step, watch your step, watch your step.
You're good now, yeah.
Now you're good. You
I'm
done?
gonna be a gripper.
You're done.
Don't you worry.
See, now, you can't be a gripper if you can't run and get the car. No, I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
As we set off, I can't help but think how impressive this 19th century network of cables and tracks are, even by today's standards. San Francisco had the first cable car system, and now it's the only one left in the world. And long may it last.
Cable cars are synonymous with San Francisco.
Yeah.
They're the only national rolling, moving monument. When people come to San Francisco, they want to eat crab, they want to see the Golden Gate Bridge, walk it, ride it, they want to go down Lombard Street, and they want to ride on a cable car.
You can't put it much better than that. From one national moving monument to another. I've always loved motorbikes, and over here the Harley Davidson is the classic American easy rider.
That's what I feel now.
There's some pretty smart bikes there.
I've arranged to meet the local president of a unique motorcycle club. They ride Harleys and call themselves the Buffalo Soldiers, a name with a powerful legacy in Black American history.
Good morning, all. Morning.
How you doing, Dave?
You're Gene.
I'm Gene.
Yeah.
They call me Old School. I'm the president of the Oakland chapter of the Buffalo Soldiers. What we do is we represent the long history of the African Americans in the military.
So, could you just tell me the role of the original black soldier back in the history?
Okay. So in 1866, when Congress actually signed us in, we were actually former slaves and people that came out of prison camps and stuff.
Right.
Okay. We became known as the Buffalo Soldiers by the Indians. The hair on the top of our hair, which is a woolly patch, reminded them of the woolly patches on top of the buffalo.
Oh, I see.
But the most important thing is the fierce fighting that we did. So they worshiped the buffaloes, so they worshiped the black African-American troops at the same time, so they nicknamed us Buffalo Soldiers. So that's how the name Buffalo Soldiers came along for the colored troopers.
So they were tough.
They were tough. They were tough.
Nothing's changed then, has it? Look at this lot here. Oh, careful. I shall have to watch my P's and Q's, won't I? So this group are the Buffalo Soldiers, and you are motorcycle, fanatics? What are you?
Well...
Hey, you look like it, hey?
Well, we're a motorcycle club. We ride these motorcycles in respect of the horses that the Buffalo Soldiers rode. So we call these our iron horses. Plus, it'd be kind of hard here in the United States to clean up behind of all horses.
Yes.
And roll them all over the place.
Yeah, cool.
Whenever these Buffalo Soldiers set out to ride their iron horses, they do so with pride and a prayer.
We're gonna mount up now, and we're getting ready to head out to Oakland, okay? We're gonna roll it out. You ready?
Ready. Buffalo Soldiers! Buffalo Soldiers! Buffalo Soldiers! And it's all good.
It's all good.
To help me better understand the story of the Buffalo Soldiers of past and present, Gene has offered little old me a ride in today's convoy.
Okay, so here's your safety jacket.
Yeah.
But first, I've got to get the look.
Blimey, who?
Oh, limit.
No, it's not me, short, small. It's you being too big.
Well,
cheeky devil.
Well, it's gonna keep you safe, though.
That's it, because you're responsible for the nation's treasure.
Exactly.
I said that, nobody else does.
Let's go.
The first Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club was formed by a Chicago police officer in 1993. Gene Gilliam started the Oakland chapter after leaving the U.S. Army in 2013. Across America, they now have over 123 chapters with 3,000 active members. One of the core values of the Buffalo Soldiers is to help those less fortunate than themselves.
All right, guys, let's go on over to him and start giving this stuff away. Give them the water and stuff.
We've stopped at a homeless camp under a freeway to hand out much-needed basics such as food, water, and toiletries.
So what we do is normally just walk through the area. We find people that need stuff and then find out what they're in need of.
With around 3,000 homeless people in Oakland, these people living here aren't on their own.
They want some water over there?
So how did you get here?
And my situation was domestic, and my whole career went down the drain, and I just felt so bad. I was 15 years clean and sober, and everything just went down the drain, and I was just so ashamed to feel so bad to go back home.
I think that what's nice is like these guys, the Buffalo Soldiers, is there is someone who is caring, who is thinking about you.
And he was divinely just coming and to see about us.
Yeah. Thank you. It's been very nice meeting you. And good luck. Good luck.
I'm starting to realize that the Buffalo Soldiers are much more than the motorcycle fanatics that I thought they were. Like Gene, many of them are ex-servicemen or women and have faced the same battles as those they are helping.
Have you had experience of being homeless?
Actually, I have had experience. Back in 1984, after I got out of the military, I served 2 years in the military, and I decided to get out. I moved to San Jose, California, and I actually wasn't able to sustain in San Jose, so I actually ended up living out on the street. My main concern was how to build my life back again, how to get up off the streets. A lot of these people want conversation. They want resources of where they can go and get that help to start building their confidence again to get up out of these streets.
It's time to hit the road again. We're crossing the Oakland Bridge into San Francisco to discover more about the original Buffalo Soldiers. I've come to an old military fort under the Golden Gate Bridge, where 2 cavalry regiments of the Buffalo Soldiers were permanently stationed at the San Francisco Presidio Fort from 1903. Over 450 are now buried here in the National Cemetery at the Presidio.
Every Buffalo Soldier that you see and every Buffalo Soldier that's come to pass, their parents were slaves. That's why they joined the military in 1866, to get out of slavery.
Gene and the rest of the club want to ensure the courage and pride embodied in the original Buffalo Soldiers is not forgotten. Soldiers like Sergeant William Tompkins.
He's one of our Medal of Honor winners from the Spanish-American War.
Was there a special reason that he got a medal?
So during that war, they were actually on a ship. Several men were on land that was injured. Him and another guy got on a boat, paddled out there to where those men were at, while taking on fire and taking injuries themselves, and rescued those men that was out there. So they was awarded the Medal of Honor for that fight.
Justifiably deserved.
Justifiably deserved. And it shows the courage of the Buffalo Soldiers.
Yeah.
By 1944, all 4 Buffalo Soldier regiments had been disbanded. And in 1948, the US government finally declared an end to racial segregation in the armed forces. Gene's mission is to keep the memory of these black soldiers alive.
Tell us why you think that Buffalo Soldiers need to be remembered.
Because they are the beginning of blacks, African Americans, showing their worth in America. They show that blacks aren't just made for working, we're made for thinking and using our heads and becoming educated at the same as everybody else is.
So that is the legacy that the Buffalo Soldiers have left.
Exactly.
Lovely. Yeah.
My time with the Buffalo Soldiers is coming to an end. It's been a ride that will stay with me for years to come.
What I would just like to say, I've learned so much about the Buffalo Soldiers and how important they were at the very beginning. So thank you, one and all. Oh, and I owe you my jacket because he lent this to me, so you better have it back.
Well, you know what, David? Since you look so good in it, you're going to actually keep this jacket and take it back to the UK.
You're not.
Okay?
Oh,
Here's your own motorcycle,
Hey,
Jack.
I'll put it back on.
And you can put it back on.
He's a gent as well as a buffalo.
There you go. And thank you
Pleasure.
once again.
Thank you. And thank you for my jacket. I wear it with pride.
Thank you.
Buffalo soldier, Buffalo soldier, will you survive in this new land? Buffalo
It was quite emotional seeing them go. It just makes you feel good to meet such a lot of really, really nice people who are doing such nice work.
Will they call you?
I learnt to fly a helicopter about 11 years ago. I knew it was difficult, but I did it to challenge myself. Thankfully, I've never had to fly one into battle under enemy fire. The men who restored this machine did just that. I'm in a hangar in Hayward, California, to tell the story of this relic of the Vietnam War, the Bell UH-1, more affectionately known as the Huey.
A wonderful helicopter. I'd love to fly it. Good morning, sir.
Pleased to meet you. Peter Olesko.
Peter and
Yeah.
Jeff?
Jeff, nice to meet you, sir.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm meeting the Vietnam vets who returned this aircraft to its former glory.
We got it from Sacramento Sheriff's Office in 2003. We took her completely apart, stripped the bare metal, overhauled everything. When it was all apart in pieces, Peter and I sat down one day and decided we're either going to put a thermite grenade in it and burn it up, or we're going to go on from here. So it was a very difficult thing to do, but we got it done.
Peter and Jeff were both flight engineer gunners on Hueys during the Vietnam War in 1970-71. It was their aim to recreate the machine they flew in, down to the smallest detail. Everything from the twin M60 machine guns to their old unit's military insignia. But it's a more recent addition that's caught my eye.
So what did you need the dice for up there? The woolly dice are not even, I seem to recognize them.
That was a gift from one of our first pilots, and he had them in his helicopter when he was in Vietnam, and it brought him luck. And he said, "Well, we're gonna put them in here," and it served us well. We haven't had a single breakdown in the field for 15 years.
For veterans like Peter and Jeff, luck is something that helped them both survive combat in Vietnam.
When we moved up northwest of Saigon later in the war, we were facing anti-aircraft machine guns, and I got shot a couple times. Peter got shot down, and I was actually in the flight and picked him up after he was shot down.
Yeah, I've been hearing about it for 45 years. Steady.
Oh,
steady.
Not everyone was as lucky as Peter. It's believed that during the 10 years that America was involved in the war, over 1,300,000 soldiers and civilians were killed on both sides. For Jeff, like many American servicemen and women, surviving the war wasn't the end of the story.
When I was in law school, in first or second year of law school, 1976, about 4 years after we were there, I had an emotional breakdown, took myself to the Veterans Administration, and had what was ultimately diagnosed as PTSD. And I killed a whole bunch of people in one day. It was a rescuing a downed crew, and that stuck with me for a long, long time. But they were all armed, they were all shooting at me, and to save friends that were being shot at, I had to kill them. I felt bad my whole life about it. I atone for it every day. This helicopter may be part of that atonement, to tell people about war and hopefully to make them think twice about ever doing it again.
Peter and Jeff regularly display their restored Huey at air shows. They've found the helicopter helps military veterans to open up and talk about difficult wartime memories. Now it's my turn to experience this incredible aircraft up close and personal.
This is our #1 pilot.
Hello, this is Troy. Nice to meet you, Dave. Pelletier. This is Dave. He's the talent in this operation.
Yeah. Sorry about that. You're going to have to take a back seat.
They told me you're going to teach me how to fly a helicopter.
Please.
It's difficult enough to fly a helicopter, but I've never tackled anything as big and powerful as this Huey.
Yeah, wait a minute, how do we get in? Oh, I see.
Here you go.
Am I going in here?
I know this is complicated.
I'm sat in the co-pilot seat, and Jeff is in one of the 2 door gunner seats, the same place he sat while serving in Vietnam. Jeff's son, Brandon, is manning the 2nd door gunner's seat.
Runway 3 right, clear for takeoff.
Dave, are you comfortable?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Good to go. Taxiway's clear.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Said a joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. Businessman there, drink my wine. Plowman, dig my earth.
Back around. I'm going to stay on your left the whole time.
Hear the sound, Dave? That's a Huey turning.
This helicopter burns so much fuel, she's burning 90 gallons an hour.
Bloody hell, good job I'm not paying for it.
Vietnam's dense jungles and paddy fields meant many areas were inaccessible. The Huey was a game changer for American forces as it could move in swiftly and hover close to the ground, allowing troops to disembark whilst providing covering fire. Pilot Croy is about to demonstrate this maneuver.
You're good now. You're about 2 feet up. 1 foot. 6 inches.
I'm good here.
For combat veterans, the Huey was both a taxi into hell and sometimes a medevac lifeline out. Today, the Huey remains the most potent symbol of the Vietnam War.
On the go.
What we did just then was that's what you would expect to do if you were delivering troops into the war zone. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Very much like what we did, only nobody's shooting at you.
I mean, it must be quite emotional for you, Jeff, right at the back. It must bring back some memories, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Every time we do it. It's sometimes nostalgic, sometimes a pain in the ass. But overall, Dave, overall, it's cathartic is the best word for it.
Sitting up front in this incredible machine is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and it's about to get even better.
David, I'm on the controls with me.
For a brief few minutes, Croy lets me take the controls.
She's a big girl, isn't she?
She is a big girl, and she's a little bit heavy to what I'm used to, but I have to learn her little foibles. But she's a big girl. I like them big, though.
I like them big, too.
Good man.
That's San Francisco right there. You know that, right? And there's Sutro Tower with the fog's coming in, our summertime fog.
Yeah, I've got it.
Isn't it gorgeous?
One final glimpse of San Francisco Bay, and it's time to return to base.
Thank you, my dear friend.
Thank you, David.
It's
been a pleasure.
You really have helped me understand the situation of what it must have been like for you and those guys. And I'm glad you restored this machine because it's a constant reminder of what, in a way, what we shouldn't do.
Indeed. In my unit, we lost 38 guys in 4 years, dead, and about 3 times that many wounded. It's a lot of manpower wasted on a war that ended up being considered unnecessary, at least. So there you go.
It's the penultimate week of my 5-week journey, and I'm heading south from San Francisco down the Pacific coast, riding east through the Santa Ynez Valley and motoring into the middle of the Mojave Desert. Along the way, I'll be huffing and a-puffing aboard a vintage loco.
So yours is a good old-fashioned
1913 rocket ship.
1930 rocket ship. I love it.
I'll be rattling the desert rocks in a Porsche-powered dune buggy.
This is still only second gear. Yeah, we're going much faster than that.
And I'm going ballistic with my very own big boy rocket.
Sweet now.
First, though, I'm motoring down one of America's coolest and most curvaceous of coast roads.
That is the Pacific Ocean. Right, you know, saying no more.
This is the legendary California State Route 1, one of the most breathtaking drives in the entire U.S. And you'll notice I'm traveling in quite some style.
This is the life, eh? I am driving a 1966 Ford Mustang. When I was a lad, this would have been the bee's knees. You would have been lusting after this.
I've come to the Wild West town of Santa Ynez.
Here we are. Wagons, ho!
To discover how Americans got about way before cars even existed.
Here it is, Historical Museum and Carriage House. If I'd have known that, I would have had my 6 guns on you. Like the hell I am. God, dear. This is it, isn't it, eh?
This unique collection charts the heyday of horse-drawn travel and tells the story of how America's West became a little less wild.
Ah, John.
Hi, Sir David.
Hi. Oh, nice to meet you.
Former film producer John Copeland is on hand to show me the reins.
I was just looking at all the carriages and things, and it's a great history of the American West, isn't it, this?
Well, it is, and it's the biggest collection of carriages and stagecoaches west of the Mississippi.
Good Lord.
And each one of them has a story to tell.
Yeah. These are the ones that we all recognise in every Western that we've ever seen. Was that the sort of bus of its day?
It was actually the equivalent of a jetliner today. This was how people traversed our nation before the railroads went in.
And just like today, you don't go on the road without a driving lesson.
And this is an actual real device. This is how people learned how to drive.
I'm sitting in the middle, is that right?
That's it. For a single horse, you would have these two.
So if you want him to stop, you pull back.
You do. You pull back and
But if I want
low,
him to go...
you would just whack him on, go on the back.
You and my son. Right. Easy peasy, isn't it? Off. Had my first lesson. Look, come on, then. Off we go. Yeah.
Very good.
Good. Yeah, we haven't moved yet. And now I'm ready for the real thing. And just to make me look a right plonker, the producers made me go the full John Wayne. Well, Kushti. Come on, John, let's get going.
All right.
John's hitching me up with Tommy Harris, a legendary wrangler and rodeo star who's dedicated his life to keeping the Wild West alive. And here are the horses, I do believe.
They can't see us, so just stay there, because they've got what are called blinders.
Therefore, to concentrate the horse's attention ahead of them, is it?
Well, it is, but it also makes them less distracted by something happening off to the side. See the coach that you're going to be riding on and driving?
Yeah, how many could ride in here?
They would get...
the old days.
Well, they could get 12 in here.
12? I can't believe that.
This was, you know, the height of transportation. And it was certainly faster than walking behind a covered wagon. So people would be thrilled to ride on this. So, David, shall we take a little trip back in time?
Tommy's carefully crafted this working replica 1820s stagecoach to show history in motion. And I'm about to take a test ride. You cannot have 12 in here.
Oh, yes. So here we are. Pretty comfy?
Yeah, well, it is at the moment. It's not moving.
So if you think flying an aircraft today is crowded, it's nothing like being inside a stagecoach.
Despite the cramped quarters, stagecoach travel was decidedly for the well-heeled, and a transcontinental 2,000-mile journey didn't come cheap.
If you were going from St. Louis to San Francisco, you know, that'd be close to, you know, $7,500, $10,000 in today's money.
$10,000 to be cramped in a bleeding thing like this is even tighter than your coffin, this thing, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Tucker, Bobby. Tucker, Bobby.
Oops, here we go.
Away we go.
Oh, this is not too bad. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Yes? Seems like nice boys, don't they?
Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Though the streams are swollen, keep them doggies rolling, right.
Oh, bloody hell. I mean, you don't have to go far, do you, to already experience this isn't the most comfortable ride that you've ever had in your life, is it?
Yeah, would you like to do 12 hours of this? Because that's pretty much what the day would be.
God, it's like a nightmare, isn't it?
They didn't know the comforts that we know today.
No. The huge distances covered crossing America meant passengers would be cooped up for days on end.
From St. Louis to San Francisco, it was close to 20.
What, days?
Yeah.
Well,
and, you know, they're sweaty, they're not taking a bath.
No.
Probably not brushing their teeth.
No.
So, yeah, being inside here could be quite a sensory experience.
A bit like being with a film crew, really,
You're right,
isn't it?
yeah, a little bit.
Now, a stagecoach journey was one you did in stages. To travel right across America could take 3 weeks, with horses being swapped for fresh teams at relay stations every 15 miles or so. You'd easily use 36 horses a day to cover the ground. So this is the speed that we would travel at?
The average speed would be about 7 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah, this is the way to travel. There is no other. I mean, this is it.
How about if you had done this from Seattle down, you know?
Yeah.
Almost 2,000 miles.
Oh, the old Technicolor yawn.
Yeah.
We would have all been doing that, wouldn't we? Yeah. Me old buns are taking a bit of a battering. So John's keen to get me upstairs, riding shotgun.
I'm never going to get up there.
Oh, sure you are. David, you're going to want to step on the hub.
Which foot?
Whatever works for you. Hold on to that. There you go. Good. Swing on in next to Tommy.
Thank you, Tom.
There you go, sir.
Yeah.
You're in the game. Go ahead. Are you ready?
I thought he was being serious.
So, David, what do you think of riding on the top side as opposed to the inside?
I think it's slightly better up top.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously not so claustrophobic, but for some reason, I'm not sort of feeling quite the bumps quite so much.
This was the ideal seat right here.
So why is that?
Because the leather third braces that are holding the body, you'll feel them more on the inside than you will up here.
Of course, back in the 1800s, travel didn't come without risk. A coach full of wealthy passengers might make a tasty target for a hold-up.
So, David, on an uphill like this, where the horses are slowing down a little bit, this would be where the road agents would want to try to stop the stage.
Yeah, that's where the robbers would come into play. Bobby, tuck, come on, up.
Often braving terrible weather, rutted roads and treacherous terrain, for half a century, the stagecoach lines carried aspiring citizens ever westward, earning their rightful place in American history.
He knows how to drive, yes, sir, Rebo. It was much better riding up here with Tom and feeling and seeing the whole thing. Yeah. But when we went off the road, oh, dear, I thought we were all going to bounce off. Great
thank
experience.
You, sir.
Bless
thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Bless you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All I need to do now is work out how to get off this blinking thing. I'm continuing my journey through sunny California. And this morning, I'm visiting the historic downtown of Fillmore, a city about 50 miles north of Los Angeles. Back in 1886, during a railroad revolution, the Southern Pacific Company ran a track through the valley here, and Fillmore was one of hundreds of new towns that blossomed with the arrival of steam power.
Now that's more like a steam engine, that, isn't it? A bit like me, big and butch. Big and butch. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, first steam, you are gonna love it.
Today, I'm meeting some people wedded to keeping Fillmore's rail history alive. Teresa Wilkinson, clearly the brains of the operation.
Hello, Teresa. How long have you been on front office then?
25 years.
Oh, is that all?
That's all.
You're a new girl then?
Yes, I'm a new girl on the block.
The Fillmore and Western Railway chiefly supplies rolling stock for Hollywood movies and TV dramas. But this morning, they're running a special train ride for tourists, like me.
Teresa, what did you think when your husband said he wanted to buy a railway?
I was in the shower, and he came in and told me, he says, guess what? I said, what? He goes, I bought a railroad. It's like, you're kidding me. And you know, you can't just get out of the shower and go chase him down because you're in the buff. And then he took off. He got in the car and left.
And knew that you couldn't chase him.
No, I couldn't chase him down.
I'm not sure if husband Dave is still in hiding. So I'm off to hunt him down.
Dave.
Oh, welcome aboard.
Bless you.
Ah, found him. And it looks like he's reserved the best seat in the house for himself.
This is great. You could get into here and get away from the wife.
She's my best friend.
Good.
Okay.
Except when you told her about the railway and she was in the shower, you did a runner.
Well, I knew for a fact that she's a very modest person, and she wasn't going to chase me across the front yard in the nude.
We'll be riding the track from Fillmore to the town of Santa Paula, a mere 10 miles. But I'm in caboose class, with the added option of al fresco, no less.
Hey, this is it.
This is it.
What a good idea of yours. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, great. This is.
There's my lovely wife.
There she is.
There's Teresa.
Yeah.
Bye, babes. We're 30 miles long.
Well, that's a good, decent amateur railway for a grown-up.
And it also has 4 of its existing stations on the railroad, so we have a lot of history.
Where did all this come from, all this passion with railways? Did you have a little rail track when you were a kid?
It's been a lifelong infection. No, I had trains when I was a kid, and I grew up with trains. I've always loved trains.
This line was built just 17 years after the completion of America's first transcontinental railway in 1869. Up to 10 miles of new track was being laid down in a single day, and people streamed into California in their thousands. This region, the Santa Clara River Valley, thrived and became famed across the globe for its juicy oranges and zesty lemons.
This valley used to be one of the biggest navel orange producers in the world.
Really?
And I have records of them hauling up to 110 cars of oranges a day in packing system.
Good Lord.
And that's a tremendous amount of fruit.
Back in the day, this elegant 1920s Santa Fe caboose would have been a home from home for the train's hard-working staff. Must have been a tough gig, eh?
There we are, Steve.
All righty.
Well done. Thank you.
Glad you enjoyed your ride. Welcome to Santa Paula.
Santa Paula, here I come.
We've reached the end of the line, and I'm off for a closer gander at the beautiful 1913 Baldwin engine that pulled us here. Dave tells me he discovered this machine in bits and restored it at a cost of $3 million. As a builder of model steam engines myself, I want to make sure that the young punks driving the thing know their big ends from their blast holes.
Where is the pressure?
175 pounds.
And what does she run at?
175 pounds.
Right. How do we know how much water we got?
So here's the water glass.
Right, we're full. So yours is a good old-fashioned...
1913 rocket ship.
1913 rocket ship. I love it. All right, let's go, Luke.
All right. Hey there, Steve. I'm ready.
These boys give a very good impression of knowing what they're doing. Anyway, time for a three-point turn, or at least the train equivalent.
Outside, it's really hot. And once you get in here, it's even hotter. So this is their working temperature. I would want a couple of big fans with a fridge up here, blowing some cold air.
In order to get us back to base, our older loco needs to move to the rear and reverse all the way home.
One of the attractions to steam is it's a living, breathing machine. They make a noise, they breathe, they move, they short, they talk, they blast at you. So it's a love affair that I can understand, I think. You can hear it, you can feel it, can't you?
It's a pretty labour-intensive business running a historic railway like this. Dave and Teresa employ about 40 people just to keep the whole shebang going. But everyone seems to be sharing in their passion and having a darn good time while they're about it.
This train am bound for glory, this train am bound for glory, this train This train, I'm bound for glory, don't care none but the righteous and holy. This train, I'm bound for glory, this train.
Tell you what, though, she's a thirsty old trout. Now we need a quick pit stop to fill her up. A small matter of piping 6,000 gallons of finest Californian Chateau del Aqua into the tank.
This train don't care no gamblers, this train don't care no gamblers, this train.
As we head back, I feel slightly envious of old Dave, chugging up and down through the orange groves here in his fancy caboose. Not a bad life, eh?
Bound for glory, this train.
I like it. Lovely, jubbly. Thank you so much. It's been a marvellous time playing on your own little grown-up steam train. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for coming along, and I hope you had a great time on the Fillmore and Western.
I'm continuing my journey on the road known as the Main Street of America.
Well, if you ever plan to go to West, Jack, take my way, it's the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66.
For just over 100 years, this ribbon of tarmac has connected Chicago to LA. 2,500 miles. Part of the fabric and history of this awe-inspiring country. And today I've arrived at a place where Hollywood magic begins.
Look at this. This is my idea of heaven, this. Look at it. Look at it. I wish I could take that home. I'd restore that. Good Lord. It's wonderful, isn't it? As far as the eye can see, virtually, cars, and they seem to be all Volkswagens.
Now, since leaving Seattle, I've been on the lookout for some old American number plates as a souvenir of my trip. Wonder if I might be able to pick up some here.
Look at this Volkswagen. His front's gone. Anybody in? I think you've lost the front of your vehicle. Did you know that?
But this isn't just any old car graveyard. I've come to meet an old-timer called Willie Carlagion. These wrecks represent his life's work in the buggy building and movie transport business.
Willie's been building dune buggies for years. And one of the things about Willie, he's very, very well known in the film business. And if anybody wants to do anything with dune buggies or go into the desert or whatever, Willie is your man. And he's been doing it for an awful long time, so he's the sort of expert around here. So I want to have a chat with him and perhaps, who knows, take his dune buggy out for a ride.
Recently, Willie was diagnosed with kidney disease, so he's been a bit poorly of late.
Good afternoon. You must be the famous Willie I've been looking forward to meeting.
I don't know where the famous comes from, but I'm Willie.
You're Willie. What made you move here for a start? Look at it, it's the desert, isn't it?
It's my backyard. I jump in a buggy and I can go up here in these hills. I can travel hundreds of miles without seeing anybody.
Yeah.
As a young jobbing VW mechanic back in the 60s, Willie quickly realised that spare parts from the vehicles he was fixing could be turned into fun and fashionable dune buggies.
How did you get started?
A friend of mine went to Acapulco and saw these dune buggies, and he wanted one, so we bought a Volkswagen, cut it up, turned it down, made a buggy out of it.
Why did you choose a Volkswagen?
They were very cheap.
Ah, good
And
answer.
there was plenty of them. The most popular made vehicle in the world.
Over the years, racing and riding the desert dunes became both a successful business and part of family life.
What did it feel like then to go in this area in your dune buggy where nobody else has been? What's the pleasure in that?
Freedom.
Doesn't it get rather lonely out there?
No, you usually take friends with you.
Oh.
It's also helpful when something breaks down, you got somebody to help.
Today, Willie's son, Greg, is looking after the shop.
Ah, There you are.
Howdy, David.
Hiya, Greg. Nice to see you.
Pleasure.
So, just talk me through it. Here we have, somehow, a chassis or the base of a Volkswagen. Is that right?
Correct. This was a VW bug at one point in time. And basically, when you take the steel body off of the VW, remove all that weight, the suspension can handle quite a bit of off-roading. Then they're very versatile vehicles.
So, with all this motor vehicles and equipment, when did you first learn to drive, then?
I first was riding on my dad's lap when I was 5 or 6. But when I actually started driving on myself, I was 8 years old. The first vehicle on the left is a Porsche-powered 2.8-liter, fuel-injected with power steering and everything.
The family went on to develop these bigger and far more powerful buggies specifically to transport movie makers in and out of remote desert locations.
These cars were set up by us specifically for doing film work, for carrying camera gear, for carrying personnel. This isn't stuff you'd typically find. Most of these cars you'd see don't have the exterior rail. So when you're dealing with soft sand and you're loading camera kit, it's kind of hard to reach all the way up. So we had these actually put on so you can load camera boxes and anything else onto the roof of the car.
And how many have you got for the film industry?
Well, we have 3 of these cars.
Yeah?
But we've got 22 cars we can have out within a little bit of time.
Good Lord.
The last feature we did was a feature with Will Ferrell called Land of the Lost. And that show, we had 22 cars working on it.
Blimey.
I can't wait to get in one of these mean machines and have a spin in the desert. But first, Greg's gotta get loaded up.
Blimey, if that's the way you drive, so I don't think I'll bother.
These cars weigh about 1,100 pounds.
Yeah, I used to do that. I sort of gave it all up to, you know, I let somebody else do it now. Just it's because you've got to bring other people up to lift things. 1,100, I did 1,100, easy.
Ah. Oh, well.
We're heading a bit further down Route 66 to a place where Willie started racing his beloved buggies over 50 years ago. This is /X Ranch, and today it's become a pretty popular meeting place for weekend warriors who tip up here to pose, party, and throw up a lot of dirt.
Remind me not to get one of these, will you?
From here, they'll head out for a blast round the sands in their $40,000 desert toys. Greg's in gear, and it's time for us to buckle into our buggy.
God, blimey. Yeah, tight fit.
Snug as a bug in a rug.
Anybody think we're going to fly this thing?
Occasionally, I have flown it.
You have? What?
God blimey, they've stuck me with a real-life Mad Max. Oh, never mind flying. I was expecting a gentle glide down some silky soft sand dunes.
Oh, blimey, that's a roller coaster, wasn't it? That's down.
Greg's bespoke buggy is powered by a 2.8-litre Porsche race engine and is capable of a staggering off-road speed of 100 miles per hour.
This is still only second gear. Oh, blimey. Don't we go that faster than that? Blimey, it's worse than being on sea, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm in serious danger of losing me lunch here. God, they never told me I would be going out with a lunatic. I thought it was a nice day out in California. This is madness. Despite the amazing travel of air ride suspension, I'm feeling a bit like James Bond, both shaken and stirred.
Greg! We have to slow down a bit. So you blew my bloody act off.
Well, I was barely getting into fourth gear.
Yeah, no, it's all right for you. You're used to it. I couldn't see. It's only knocking the eyes out of my head.
Finally, we're out in the deep desert, and the solitude of this wonderful landscape quite overwhelms me. I was talking to Willie, and I could understand what he said, something about when he used to drive these things and to come out in the middle of the air and just nobody about.
The serenity of it all.
Yeah, something very, very moving about it all, I find. And after the noise of this thing, I can understand Willie's love of being quiet.
Yeah.
As we head back, Greg puts me in charge. It's my very first time behind the wheel of a souped-up buggy like this, and I kind of hope it may be my last. You know you are mad, don't you?
Just a bit. All the best people are.
Don't ask me if I enjoyed it. I've been on the Big Dipper, most places around the world. I've been to Blackpool. I've been everywhere. That beats the lot of them, as you probably witnessed. Dear old Willie has followed us out here and has a little surprise lined up for me.
Guess what?
Oh!
That's what it was.
Oh, great. Oh, just what I wanted. Thanks. My Californian number plates.
And this one's a special one to come off of my son's personal car.
Greg's. Now, look at that. It's called...
15 years ago.
Bugging Us.
Bugging us. It's our bugging us.
You're just bugging us. Is that it?
Been that way my whole life.
Yeah.
He's a pro.
Well, he's a pro. Thank you very much, Greg.
Pleasure's mine, sir.
Thank you.
How'd you like the horse?
And you, sir. Right. Thanks, Greg. Cheers. Cheers. It's an early morning start, and I'm heading miles out into the middle of the barren but majestic Mojave Desert. And boy, does it feel distinctly isolated, like a galaxy far, far away. Well, there's a notice there, and it says restricted area, authorized personnel only. All I know is it's private property. We're not allowed in. So it's going to be interesting when we get to wherever it is we're going. I've heard about strange installations like this, right out in the middle of the great American nowhere. It looks a bit like a military base. All a bit mysterious. Could be the kind of place you get abducted by aliens. Right. Let's go and find out what this is all about.
Hi, David.
Hello.
Welcome to Friends of Amateur Rocketry here.
How is that where we are? I'm told this is one of only 2 places in California where non-military folk are permitted to experiment with rocket science, attracting both impoverished students and wealthy entrepreneurs alike. It's a hidden desert oasis of innovation where the future superstars of space exploration find out what works and what doesn't. Our mission controller today, Rick Maschek, is a lifelong enthusiast who mentors rocketeers from across the United States. And the operation's backed by some pretty impressive links to industry.
Actually, SpaceX sort of got their start out here.
Did they?
Mr. Musk
Yeah.
flew out here and told some of the people out here, I have $200 million. I need somebody to build me some rockets.
And so that's kind of how SpaceX got their start.
Yeah. What got you involved into the rocket business?
When I was a kid, I loved dinosaurs and I loved volcanoes. Then when they launched the Apollo 11 to the moon, and I saw that thing and I thought, I want to be an astronaut. And so I got rid of my dinosaur toys and I started doing rocket stuff. But I still love rockets.
Yeah.
All right, guys, get that plugged in.
These students have traveled thousands of miles all the way from Ohio, and this is their big day.
Okay, that's a solid rocket. These are 2 high school students. So let's walk out with them.
Yeah.
If successful, they'll shoot this hunk of metal up to 30,000 feet, the height of a jetliner. But Rick says he's launched rockets to twice that height from here.
You know, we're out here, and this is actually military airspace that we use.
Bring it toward me slowly. Slow down.
And so we don't have airliners flying over us in this location.
Rather than a liquid fuel, the Ohio team's rocket is using a solid propellant, making it much safer to handle.
This motor is just like same fuel and everything, just like the space shuttle, the 2 solid boosters on the side.
Yeah.
This is where we have to be very safe because we're putting the igniter in now.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the dangerous bit. If the fuel were to ignite now, it would be curtains for all of us. Time to retreat to safety, I think.
Okay, we're going to be launching a rocket here in about a minute or 2. So you need to stop what you're doing? You have to stay inside the bunker for safety. I'm checking the airspace right now. If anybody sees or hears anything, let me know.
Sometimes rocket science requires good old common sense.
We're going to be launching here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Lead now.
Great launch, but the rocket veers wildly off course. Disaster.
Okay, looks like we had some separation. Please stay by the bunkers.
A fin has blown off, and the debris is in danger of raining down on top of us.
Okay, we got some pieces coming down.
Oh, no.
Sadly, failure is an important part of success in this game, but the students here will undoubtedly keep reaching for the stars. And now, it's my turn.
Would you like to ride in my rocket to the moon? Rocket to the moon.
I'll let you into a secret. I absolutely love rockets and have made quite a few in my time, although nothing on the scale that Rick and I are about to build.
This is essentially the rocket fuel that we're going to use. It's solid. It's made with sugar and a type of salt that provides the oxygen.
This is the rocket.
This is the rocket itself.
That fuel goes in the end. That much I do know, because I do it myself.
That goes in the end. So this is the motor. So I'm going to have you just take this and just slide it right in there.
Once the so-called rocket candy is loaded, we have what's known in the trade as a motor. That's the bit which ignites and provides all the thrust for the rocket. And this sweet stuff should shove us up to a good 3,000 feet.
And Newton's third law of motion. For every action, you have a
equal and opposite reaction.
And that's the rocket going up.
See?
The gases shoot down one way, gases
go the other.
Rocket goes the other way.
Next, we load in some simple electronics to record the altitude and trigger the landing parachutes. The idea is to reuse these rockets as much as possible.
3, 2, 1.
All this for 30 seconds. I mean, you've got to be slightly doolally.
Guess what? This rocket's ready to go.
All right, I trust you. Thousands wouldn't. Be careful. To the launch pad. Are they always this heavy?
Okay.
We're getting a bit sandblasted out here. I want to make sure this giant firework stays on course. We're going into wind, so the angle of the dangle is inversely proportional to the heat of meat. So I reckon that about 45 degrees.
Are you going to go a mile or two out there and get it?
All right, listen, Mr. Noddy Know-all, what are you going to suggest?
Like, straight up.
I like the way they get a knight of the realm to do all the hard work. I reckon that is it. Go up, thing, and I'll bring it down right in front of the bunkers.
Next time you see NASA, Elon Musk, SpaceX launch a rocket, you tell them, you say, hey, I think the angle needs to be less.
I will.
Let's go push this button.
Come on, then.
I'll do the countdown, and you can have the honors of pushing the button.
Well, I should think so. I mean, I built it.
The honor's all yours. We're going in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There she goes.
Wow, mission success. Straight up, a good 4,000 feet.
We have parachutes, and looks like David was right. We're gonna have a walk for about a mile or more.
I told you so. He wouldn't listen, would he? Oh, well, let's have another look at my contribution to the British space effort. It's one small step for man, one giant leap for dear old Blighty. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for your help watching that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we did it. Oops.
It was a nice lunch.
Just as I predicted, my skyrockets ditched a good way off down the Mojave Desert. Well, I guess I better go and pick the bleeding thing up. I may be a while. This is the final stretch of my 5-week trip, and I'm traveling from the Mojave Desert to the great metropolis of Los Angeles. There's my team waiting for me. For the final part of my journey, I glimpse the glamour of Hollywood's high life. Cruise down the beach in a vintage hot rod. It goes. Yeah, you're nice, son. And chase breaking news with an eye-in-the-sky TV legend. What's happening now on your street?
Well, this is a perimeter for a robbery suspect.
I'm traveling south through the Mojave in Southern California. But just before I leave this magnificent desert and head back to civilization, I've come to a racetrack 70 miles north of Los Angeles. Once a Wild West stagecoach stop, Willow Springs is now a world-famous racing track with 600 acres of tarmac to tear up. This place is home to a stunt car school where the tough guys and gals of Tinseltown have been learning their trade. At the head honcho here is a man behind some of the silver screen's maddest and baddest action scenes ever. Veteran stuntman Rick Seaman. Ah.
Hey, David.
Rick, main man.
How are you, sir?
All right.
Good, welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome to the stunt driving school.
Rick's place has the distinct air of an old scrapyard, and his beaten-up bangers look like they've seen a bit of movie mayhem. But don't be fooled. This is where Hollywood glamour gets in gear, and where the very best stunt people and movie stars come to hone their driving skills.
We've had some pretty big-name actors out here that we trained. Vin Diesel. We had The Rock out here. We've had Tom Cruise out here. 85% of our students are working stunt people.
Sometimes you have to have the stunt driver. How important are they, do you think, in the scheme of a big movie?
Well, very important, because for one, you don't want to put your actor in jeopardy, because he's already been cast. He's already acted in half the movie. If he gets hurt and has to leave the show, we're dead.
Yeah.
But stunt people are expendable.
You said it.
If I'm doubling you and I break a rib next,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. It's time for me to learn some stunty stuff.
We have a red stunt car for you here. I'll get you warmed up in it.
You're going to keep it on 4 wheels, though, aren't you?
Yes.
You're not doing, we're not rolling over.
No, we won't do that.
Okay.
Unless you really want to.
No, thank you.
Yeah, we're going to change that.
Drive a car, the car's gone.
That's how we do it in the class. We go to blow. We go to blow. Don't worry, you're good. You're good.
Don't worry, he says. I've already got a blown tyre before I start. Normally, Rick allows 3 days to train an actor, but given I'm a former car mechanic, he reckons we can crack the basics in just a morning.
The people that become the best stunt drivers are the people who understand how an automobile works.
Yeah.
Mechanically.
Yeah.
Because you're connecting with it. And then you're dancing with that car, you know.
It's a lovely way of putting it, dancing with the car.
Dancing with the
that
car.
That is great.
It's time to strap in.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Let's strap
Harry
in.
will give you a hand over there.
Okay. Right. Okay, Harry, here we go. Joking aside, this is a serious business, and if you get things wrong, people can get hurt. Why did I let myself in for this, eh? Go. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Little is big. You don't need a whole lot of steering action with the steering wheel to make the car turn. You don't have to go nuts with it, right?
Okay. Oh, now that I've calmed down a bit, time for the stunt driver's first base, the sliding stop. Oh, cool.
Okay.
I can smell you burning rubber.
And it smells so good.
Yeah, yeah. Stunt driving is as much about preparation and practice as driving skills. They still must be able to execute the stunt cleanly and perfectly, even under pressure, time after time. Dear, oh dear. Time to up the game. Rick's gonna show me a perfect 180-degree sliding turn. Whoops, Daisy.
How about that? I hit the barrel, too.
He's hit the barrel.
Okay. Let's get you behind the wheel.
My last message was, sue the company. How many movies have you made?
Last time I counted, it was probably about 200 features. Well, I mean, I go back to James Bond, Live and Let Die. I go Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, yeah.
And Lethal Weapon 4.
Rick has got 40 years' experience as a movie stunt driver. No pressure on me, then. Straight way down.
All the way down. Pull it towards you. There you go. You're in stunt gear.
I'm in stunt now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to be as smooth as you can on the gas. That's it. Nice and smooth. Small moves. That's it. Let the car do the work. Yeah, it was good.
That's me warmed up. Time for lesson number 1, the sliding stop.
Go. Choose. Eat. You hear that sound back there? That's a beautiful sound.
Yes, it certainly was. Rick's letting me into a trade secret only known to the few. I see what the method, the secret.
Because that brings the front brakes back.
Yes.
And the front brakes do all the stopping.
Yes.
Yes. I like that. That had energy.
Yeah. I'm beginning to understand. I had no idea how they do that. No idea. But the little secret, well, you saw. I mean, I don't have to. We don't have to say any more, do we?
No.
No. Okay, I'm ready for lesson 2. The 180-degree spin. Should be a piece of cake now.
Easy lift. Okay, you got it around, but it was a little drifty, a little lazy. That's because you only had one wheel locked up. You got to get them both locked up.
It's a lot harder than it looks. I'm not getting it round hard enough. I stepped on it, but I'm not getting this wheel.
Turn that left leg into a robotic monster. Okay?
Go on, my son.
Look at you! Yes! Yes! Woo! Hollywood!
Here we go!
Yeah!
Now I've mastered the 180-degree spin, I need to add a screeching getaway.
Very good, very good.
It's quite intoxicating.
It is.
I can see why you have been doing it for so long and what the attraction is. By Jove, I think I've cracked it. Let's make a movie. Just as I thought, I got away with $1 million jewel heist. That sharp-eyed sheriff is right on my tail, darn it.
Don't worry about him. Do your 180. That's it. Power out. Go, go, go. Here he comes. He's chasing us. And shut down.
Now I know why they do it. Bless you, sir.
Well,
go.
Thank you, David. You did great. I mean, you were a great student.
It was absolutely brilliant. No.
Yeah.
Oh, that is great.
You're a stunt commando.
I'm a stunt commando from the master himself. Thank you, my friend.
Okay.
I'm off to the UK to start my own business.
Safe travels.
Bless you. Thank you. I have left the Mojave Desert behind me, and I'm heading south to my next pit stop.
Welcome to Hollywood. Boy, you better live it up before it brings you down. Welcome to Hollywood.
Tinseltown, Los Angeles, City of Angels, and a million hopes and dreams.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Now I've cracked stunt driving, it's clear the word's out that Britain's answer to Tom Cruise is in town. That's me, that is. Mission improbable. A limo's arrived, and yours truly has been promised the full red carpet treatment.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Very well,
Oh,
thank you.
Of course.
Onward, James, and don't spare the horses. I'm headed for Van Nuys Airport. Located 11 miles north of Hollywood in the San Fernando Valley, it ranks as one of the world's busiest general aviation airports. There are no scheduled flights from here. It's all strictly private. But if you're an A-lister like me, this is where you jet in and out of Tinseltown. Oh yes, this is more like it. Lovely jubbly. I've come for a sneaky peek at perhaps the pinnacle of the American dream, the secret world of the executive jet. Ah, there's my team waiting for me.
Ehab?
Ahab?
Yes.
How do you do, David Jason?
Pleasure.
Hello, Julie Necessary.
Julie. Yes, you heard it right. Julie Necessary. Straight out of a Bond movie. Thank you. Now, Julie, please. After you.
Thank you.
This is the way to travel, isn't it, eh?
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Good Lord, look at this. Is this all set up for me?
Yes, it is. We did this just for you.
This little baby is a Falcon 900 EX. Price tag upwards of $35 million, and it's run by one of the world's most experienced operator of private jets, Clay Lacy Aviation. Julie here's the boss of client relations. At last, someone is getting it right. Julie, well done. Right, so would these be beds?
Yes. We have ice drawers, so we put our beverages in here.
This is a little washing up department. Is that a microwave?
This is a microwave convection.
This is the throne room. This beauty can take 14 people in long-haul luxury from New York to London, all in the capable hands of my pilot, Ehab Hanna. They don't make it for senior people, do they? It's too complicated for a mere mortal like me, but what is she like to fly?
This particular aircraft is a very, very stable jet. And also you have the safety features and the automation helping the pilot. It really comes into play on long transcontinental, transoceanic flights.
So what we're saying is, we don't need you at all, do we? We've got all the stuff here. I can just punch it in and then go and sit down, and she could go and do all the work herself.
Well, someone has to put the landing gear down. Otherwise, you become a sled.
Yes.
So, but other than that, yeah, modern aviation, there are aircraft that actually land by themselves and exit the runway on their own, if they're programmed.
Now, I'm programmed for tea. Wonder if they can rustle me up a nice cup of char. Well, that was very interesting, so don't worry. Anything goes wrong, I can take over.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Does he know what he's doing up there?
Not really.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Do you know, I'm getting used to this. Oh, look at this. Fresh scones. Listen to this. Served with Devonshire cream, eh? And strawberry preserves. And as if on cue, in she comes.
Here I am.
Is this normal what you would be doing?
Creating menus?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I always create a menu. I always print it out for my passengers. We don't often do like a high tea like this, but we wanted to bring a little bit of your home here to LA for you. So.
You have. That is brilliant. Tell you what, this service for the super rich isn't super cheap. By my calculations, for a flight to New York, you wouldn't get much change out of $50,000. Do you see very many personalities?
I am not allowed to mention anyone's names. We do see quite a few celebrities. We see a lot of very well-to-do families. We also do a lot of business travel. So big corporations, it's a very useful business tool. As opposed to traveling on the airlines, they have a private plane that can just take them from A to B to C.
I wish you'd tell us who you've met famous. We'd all like to know, wouldn't we? She won't tell us.
We use a lot of discretion, and confidentiality is very important to us and to our clients as well. That's why they travel this way.
I'm now used to this luxury, so this will be part of my everyday needs and contracts. And just waiting for the call from Hollywood. So if you're out there, Hollywood, I'm here and I'm ready. So I'll sit back and just relax. Clay Lacy Aviation has just celebrated its 50th anniversary, and I want to meet the living legend who first brought executive jet travel to the West Coast. Growing up in Kansas during the Great Depression, Clay Lacy developed an early fascination with flight. During his long and illustrious career, Clay became United Airlines' #1 pilot. He flew more than 300 different types of aircraft and logged up well in excess of 55,000 hours flight time. If you do the sums, that's over 6 years in the air. He also pioneered the executive jet business on America's West Coast with this legendary Learjet. Look at that, what a beauty. Ah, a friend of Hollywood stars, 86-year-old Clay Lacy.
Nice meeting you, yes.
David Jason.
Yeah.
How lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
When did you first fly?
Well, I started flying seriously at 12.
What do you mean? You actually flew an aircraft or learned at the age of 12?
Yes, yeah. And then I soloed when I was 14 and had my instructors and commercial license when I was 16. And it started with United Airlines when I was 19.
In 1964, Clay brought the first luxury Learjet to LA.
Lear looks for his biggest success with this little jet. Maybe because it gets Mr. Executive to work and back to the golf course faster than anything that has yet come along.
The Hollywood Rat Pack were quick to buy into the glamour of it all.
Frank Sinatra bought one and recently flew it to Europe and back.
I had sold Frank Sinatra a Learjet.
But he never couldn't fly them.
No, he did learn to fly a helicopter.
Did he?
Yeah, he was.
He's a better
helicopter
man than
pilot.
I thought he was.
Oh, yeah, he was a great guy. Dean Martin, of course, was his closest friend. Danny Kaye, the comedian, you know, I got to know him real well.
Could he fly? Was he a pilot?
Yeah, I had to check him out in the Learjet, and he had an airplane.
Clay's also the proud holder of no less than 33 world records, including one made in this very Learjet. A US coast-to-coast and back-again flight in 10 hours, 22 minutes. Average speed, a staggering 556 miles per hour.
That was a fun trip. LA to New York, 4 hours, 51 minutes. That included a landing.
Yeah, a stop to fuel.
Yeah, in Wichita. So stuff to Wichita going over and Tulsa, coming back.
This 50-year-old Learjet is compact and bijou. But it's clear Clay has a deep affection for this trailblazing plane and his extraordinary life in aviation.
If I said to you, right, OK, get in there and everything was fueled up and everything, turn around, would you still want to fly her?
Oh, yeah.
And you could?
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. I love flying, and I've never gotten tired of it. I like the feel of freedom. I always enjoy this. Fun.
Sir,
thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure.
With its high-end luxury and Hollywood glitz, Van Nuys Airport might be classed as general aviation, but for me, it's in a class of its own. Now, when one is in Los Angeles, it would be most remiss not to visit the seaside. With miles of golden beaches, it's the perfect stage to strut your stuff. And for passionate petrolheads like me, the LA beachfront is also the spiritual home of the hot rod. This crazy, crowded city boasts thousands of vintage vehicle enthusiasts, and I wanted to meet up with one of its longest-running car clubs, the LA Roadsters.
Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, David.
Hi.
Bob and Sally Barnes count themselves amongst the club's oldest and proudest members.
She likes cars as much as I do.
I came from a car family, too,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah. But was it the car or him that you were attracted? Him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you have to say that because he's within striking distance, isn't he? Right, come on, should we go and have a look at what it's all about?
Come take a look at some of the toys.
Yeah.
Bob reckons he's built or restored in the region of 600 motors. But the jewel in Bob's car-encrusted crown is the vintage 1930s Roadster he courted his wife in 50 years ago.
It is a 34 Ford, which I acquired in 1965.
How much did it cost you back then?
About $1,000. I traded a car for it.
That's a lot of money.
That was a lot of money. A Roadster has no windows.
Yeah.
They actually snap on the side. When the top comes on, you snap all that on.
How many cylinders have you got in
It's
there?
an 8.
Eight?
Oh, yeah, all 8.
What's the top speed you've had out of this?
Probably about 122, 123.
And it was still on the ground?
Yeah.
God, that is fast. But back then, you would have been hard up for money and you and your mates would have done all of this yourselves, wouldn't you?
We'd find the poorest guy and work on his to make sure it worked.
Formed in 1957, LA Roadsters grew out of a West Coast hot rod craze. The rules were simple. You pick up a cheap old 1930s banger, squeeze in a bigger, faster engine, and then head down to the beach for some cruising and racing. Going to the movies, these cars, these hot rods, we would see them as teenagers. And my goodness, did we lust after you guys. A, because of the car vehicle, but then...
There's always pretty girls with the cars.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not the same colour scheme, is it?
No, I painted it 7 times. I got almost 300,000 miles on the car.
What was the expression back then?
Babe magnet.
Babe magnet, that's what I was trying to think of. But...
It works.
And still does, I can see, you lucky man. Over the past 6 decades, Bob's garage has become a treasure trove of bikes, surfboards, and 60s memorabilia. Why have you got so many surfboards?
I've been surfing since 1954. Back in the 50s, you were in the best time. You had the surf for the beach. You had cruising on Hawthorne Boulevard, where the Beach Boys would be a lot of times in the 60s. Plus, you had Lions Drag Strip down here, 14 miles for drag racing. It didn't get any better than that in California.
So you were driving around looking like that then, were you?
I never wore a shirt.
You not?
Never.
Now, this is more like a hot rod.
Well, that's what my Roadster looked like the day I bought it. That's my wife. But I ran it without a hood.
Yeah, well, that was my image of a hot rod. You're a cool dude. And there she is.
Mm-hmm.
You were a lucky fella.
Yes, I was.
Yes. With Bob sporting his trademark top hat, we're ready to roll. Riding in the hot rod. His beloved Roadster once featured in one of the biggest hits in television history. No, it wasn't Only Fools and Horses. Listen to that. This car was in Happy Days, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, the first 13 weeks.
And actually driving with the Fonz.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be served like California.
It goes.
Yeah, good night, son.
A bushy blonde hair.
Lifeguard.
Have you ever been pulled up? I mean, by the police?
I've been stopped a ton of times.
Have you?
Oh, yeah. Well, back in the old days, it was just a thing. If you were a hot rodder, you were going to get stopped.
Yes.
Now they look and they just see a little old man and they go, oh, he's reliving his youth.
Oh,
so they don't give me any trouble. But in turn, I don't do anything stupid.
Like you used to.
Like I used to.
Yeah. We've come to the weekly classic car rally down on Redondo Beach. And it's showtime, folks. This is where Bob meets up with his fellow LA Roadsters. Blimey, what about this place then, eh?
It's where we come on Friday nights.
Every Friday?
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm just fine.
Good.
Hey, Bob.
How you
How's
doing?
everything?
Pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh, this
bring it
yours?
down.
This is my jalopy.
That's beautifully restored. Have you done that over the years?
I did all the work on this car myself except the upholstery work.
How long did it take you to get to this?
About 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years.
Was it money or was it just love? Put it
Both.
away.
Both.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah.
You can't take it with you, right?
Yeah, right. Though I'm working on a plan. This is very much like the hot rods that I remember in my young days. I mean, the shape of it and everything. It's not much, it's very tinny, isn't it?
Well, that's because they were built cheap. Because this was for a guy's work truck. It wasn't to go to church on Sunday.
What strikes me about the people showing off their beloved cars is that it goes way beyond passion. These vehicles are like members of the family, and it seems to take them back to their golden years.
This vehicle was used during the Cold War and Vietnam War. This is like for a recon squad. going to battle, just like it has original radio, the M60 machine gun. All that gear you see in there was my gear. I was in the Army for about 36 years. All the equipment you see is a typical soldier going in. This is what he would wear.
Sir, thank you very much. That's great. Good old car. Oh, now this is the cool dude of the bunch, isn't it?
Yep.
Look at it.
From Kauai.
I mean, this turns a few heads, doesn't it?
Oh yes, it's a little fun car to drive around, and you always get the thumbs up.
Look at the radiator cap he made.
Look at my top by Pineapple.
What a machine, though. It's beautiful. You've done a great job for that. What, would you sell this, or would you keep it?
I would sell it.
You sell it?
Yeah.
I've got about $200 in cash, money.
Well, you might be able to buy the front tire.
All right, I'll take it. Take it off. I'll take it with me. Oh, it's lovely to meet you, sir.
Oh,
bless you. It's a lovely car.
Well, have you had a good time? Oh. Are you ready to have a better time?
Well, I don't know. What do you mean by better time?
Let you drive it a little bit. Jump right in.
All right.
And we'll go from there.
Now, for much of my life, I've fancied getting behind the wheel of an American hot rod. And now I've got my chance.
I wish they all could be California. Wish they all could be California.
You know what? Cruising down Redondo Beach in this American beauty, it feels like all my Christmases have come at once.
Hello. See what I mean? It works. It works. The magic is still there.
That's it. They still is.
I've spent 5 weeks traveling down the west coast of the USA, finding stories behind the machines that made America. I've almost finished my epic journey, but there's one last story to tell. The helicopter has changed TV news gathering like no other machine, and I've come to meet eye-in-the-sky legend Stu Mundell.
Main man?
Sir David Jason, good to meet you, sir. You are the voice of Danger Mouse.
That's me, yeah.
Danger Mouse.
Good grief, Pencil.
There you go.
It seems my reputation precedes me. Stu is a bit of a gung-ho hero in the world of news gathering, and this chopper is his mobile office.
This is a bigger machine than I fly.
What?
This is a butch machine, this is, yeah. That obviously looks like a camera.
Yeah.
You control that?
Yeah, I control that. This is the spot where I usually sit.
Yeah.
And this is the controller right there. This controls that part of it. So that's your zoom, that's your focus.
So it's all about breaking
news. Well, that's my little niche.
Yeah.
You know.
He is just running. He's foot-bailed to take this guy into custody without injuries to any civilians.
So we do everything. If it's a fire, we're there. If it's a bad crash, we're there. If it's a police pursuit, we're there.
Now, boom, right there. I probably hit him with a less than lethal.
One of the reasons why I love my job so much is because, you know, seeing something happen that other people don't see and then be able to share it, that's where the joy comes in.
Stu never takes passengers, but for Danger Mouse, he's making an exception.
You're gonna play with the camera?
Yeah.
Do some pretend news?
Yeah.
Stu flies the camera, not the helicopter, so here's the second half of the double act.
Marcos, what's
Hey.
happening, brother?
How's it going, Stu? How are you?
I'm well.
Marcos?
Marcos, nice
Hello.
to meet you.
Number one pilot. I've been told you're the main man. Come on,
There
Marcos.
we go, let's make this happen.
Yeah, let's go, you boys.
When a news story breaks, Stu and Marcos have minutes to race to the location and get a scoop.
All right, I'll hand you your headset there.
Oh,
Thank you. Okay, I think we're ready for the off if you are, sir. All right.
Wait, this thing flies?
Good grief. That wasn't too bad a lift.
I had a friend of mine that always used to say, we're going for a magic carpet ride.
Yeah.
Los Angeles is so massive that even if you had 20 news trucks, you wouldn't be able to cover it all. The helicopter is the only way to get to a crime scene first.
You said something on the ground, and here it is. You said LA is huge.
Yes.
And if we can just see...
Oh, I'll pan up. There you go.
Look at that.
And this is just what we can see. I'm telling you, it just goes and goes and goes in all directions, unless you get to the water. Oddly enough, it stops there.
Seems like a good opportunity to have a look at the beaches in the Pacific Ocean.
The infamous Venice Beach area here in Muscle Beach, where all the guys work out, bodybuild on the...
And show off to the girls, is that what they do?
Yeah, I suppose.
The Santa Monica Pier.
Santa Monica. That's quite a famous name back in the UK.
Let's see what Stu's eye in the sky camera can really do from 1,500 feet.
Let's see if we can tell what time it is. I can't see that guy's watch.
But that is an amazing piece of kit.
Stu's helicam is just the job for a cheeky shufti into the backyards of the rich and famous.
The plots of land here next to Pacific Coast Highway. Back in the day, if you bought a piece of land inland, they would give you a lot on the beach.
Oh.
Because nobody wanted to live there.
God, dear, really?
Yeah.
Today, a California dream beach hut would set you back millions of dollars.
We're off Sunset Strip right now. Mann's Chinese Theater.
That's the Chinese Theater.
Yep, right there, where they've got all the footprints and all that stuff out in the front. Very, very famous.
This is the star-studded Hollywood Walk of Fame, possibly the world's most famous sidewalk. It's missing one star, of course, but I'll say no more.
And that stadium is...
where we play cricket.
Yeah, well, it's about time you learned to play cricket. You're hitting a ball with a bit of stick. It's not really cricket.
No, it's not. Oh, that's right. This is the famous Dodger Stadium.
Oh, the Dodgers, that's it.
And
cool, blimey, what's this? Right in front of us.
Downtown Los Angeles.
There's so much dosh in Tinseltown that the banks are the tallest skyscrapers.
Blimey, look at that.
And what do they stick on the side of the highest building west of the Mississippi? A glass slide 1,000 feet up.
There's a glass slide, so you're about 70 stories in the air.
Yeah, that is great. That is really great.
Stu is a great tour guide, but his day job is filming crime stories as they happen.
David, here you go, brother.
In LA County, almost 50,000 cars are stolen each year. Police pursuits are Stu's bread and butter.
So this right here is your zoom. In.
Yeah, got it.
Out.
Now I've got a chance to hone my skills. Surely it can't be that hard, following a speeding car.
So keep going, keep going, keep going. Ah, there's the freeway, keep going.
Oh, there you are.
There you are.
Yeah.
Look at that, you can do a pursuit.
Yeah,
all you
let's
gotta do
pretend
now-
we're doing a pursuit. There we go.
I can't even keep up with him.
Sorry. Yeah, there he is.
I wonder if that guy knows how famous he is right now.
No, it's not as easy as you think. Is that him?
Definitely much easier to fly.
Oh, he keeps running away. Oh, this is requiring too much concentration. Give it back to the master.
Stu began his crime-chasing career 25 years ago as a freelance news stringer, finding stories by eavesdropping on police scanners.
There's a story in Mid-City. You guys want to go get some shots of the helicopter hovering?
Yeah, let's go do that. Where are they, Barcos? Point them out.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Coming up.
This is a bit of luck. Eagle-eyed Marcos has spotted something occurring.
Oh, man, he's way out there.
Is that the police?
No, that's a news helicopter, gosh darn it.
Got another one.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah, he's up high. Then you got a police ship down low, about 500.
Well, maybe he's doing something that we ought to go and follow and get the news.
Darn right.
Stu's day job depends on finding a news story first.
Up here, we'll listen to the police scanners. the fire department or whatever. And then also, Marcos will talk to the police helicopter. We'll get information if they are willing to pass it along.
You'll see there at the intersection a bunch of cop cars.
Let me see.
9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
So what's happening now on your street?
Well, this is a perimeter for a robbery suspect. And the police helicopter above,
Yeah.
officers got here quick enough so they know that the bad guys ran, so they are searching. And many times they'll find these people hiding somewhere in the bushes if they haven't gotten away.
There's no second chance with breaking news. Stu has to shoot the story as it unfolds.
As far as news goes, the big secret is you get pictures of what's going to be gone first. So if you get there and there's a fire, you know they're going to put the fire out, get pictures of the fire. You get there, there's a victim, you're going to get a picture of the victim because they're going to take the victim away. We want to see the action, and that's it. That's the big secret.
Maestro Mundell is clearly unique, but I couldn't resist offering him some professional advice.
I think you ought to get in a bit closer there, Stu. Yeah, you got to see what's happening there.
Look, I'm getting as close as I can.
Well, you can't get any closer than that? Well, what's the matter with you? I mean, I can't see the whites of their eyes. What's the matter with you? Can't you see the dead body?
Oh, that would be a big no-no. We never show that stuff.
But what happens if there was a shootout?
Definitely get you a bad guy. You can get as many pictures of the bad guy as you want. That's open game.
Well, that was exciting. What's next on my LA tour, Stu?
The Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
That's going to be Warner Brothers.
They desperately want me to help them out with their viewing figures. Yeah, but I'm playing hardball.
Well, I can't fly over Los Angeles and not go to see the most important view in the City of Angels.
Do you know why they put that sign up?
Originally, it was a real estate thing, and it said Hollywood Land, and it fell into disrepair, and the city took it over, and they got rid of the land part, and they just kept the Hollywood.
So Hollywood Land was directed by an estate agent?
Yep, exactly.
Well, you can't get much closer to Hollywood than that.
Del Boy finally makes it to Tinseltown.
I think you've done an excellent job.
Thank you.
Marcus and you, Stu.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
I'm just going to be telling all my friends that I was hanging out with Danger Mouse, for gosh sakes.
Well, obviously, I'm responsible for your brilliance.
Yes, it was in the upbringing.
Yes.
So, despite my great and august body of acting work, I'm remembered in America for being the voice of a cartoon mouse. Hollywood ain't calling just yet, but you know what? I don't mind one little bit.
Well, I've done it. I've travelled from Seattle to here, Los Angeles, 1,200 miles. And what a journey it's been. Got kangaroo juice in that one, didn't he? I've been everywhere. That beats the lot of them.
Look at that for a view, eh? You don't see that every day of the week.
It's been a wonderful journey. And if you ask me, would I do it again, I'd say yes, without question. And thank you for coming on this journey with me.